Well, it is a beautiful and warm afternoon at PayPal Park as Premier Rugby Sevens makes its third stop of the season in San Jose, California. The teams are set to battle it out for the Western Conference Finals title, and it's the last chance to clinch a spot in the PR Sevens August Championships. Get ready for a ton of excitement. Semifinals action starts right now. Fans are pouring in. You got to stay hydrated. Make sure that sunscreen is on. But the Western Conference Finals upon us in Northern California. Pleasure to have you along for Premier Rugby Sevens. I'm Nick Gismondi alongside my partner, Abby Gustitis. Bree Kim is downstairs. We'll have her for interviews and pitch side information later on. But Abby, good to be in California. And what an exciting conference finals it's going to be for the West.
A little turnaround from that weather we experienced in Minnesota. So grateful for the sunshine, the players, maybe not as much, but there is so much action about to be played on this beautiful pitch behind us, and I'm so stoked.
It is going to be a good one for sure. Let's catch you up on the standings and exactly what's at stake. It's time to punch your ticket to D.C. The Loonies in control. They have 13 points. The Retrievers sitting in that second spot with 6. The Loggerheads with 3. And it's the experts out in Colorado who have all the work to do. It's pretty simple. If you win, if the first seeds win, they are locked in and ready to go. Here are the rest of the clinching scenarios for you. As we mentioned, the Loonies in a really good spot, but to make it very simple, the experts have to win outright or they go home.
Experts had a tough showing in Minnesota, but all of those matches were so tight, both semifinals and then the finals, alongside the men and the women, all within that 7 points. So 14 minutes, you run out of time, so whoever comes out firing, they're going to be at that head start.
Well, of course, there is some talent out here, and we want to start with Jonas Besse. She was just phenomenal in Minnesota.
The Fijian flyer. Just look at that running style. She came out scoring 3 tries in just those 2 matches. She was nominated for Rookie of the Year on the HSBC Women's Sevens circuit. Just a standout player all around. She has some serious wheels. Now, it wasn't good enough to topple the Retrievers when they had that late scoring, but because of that woman, someone to watch right there, Liz Tafuna, just the power, the pace, just an asset for the Retrievers.
Well, Liz Tafuna was phenomenal. I mean, not only clutch scoring, but she found her way to really just sort of make things happen, and she battled through the weather. There was obviously some rain in Minnesota, not the case here in San Jose. It's a different kind of weather. It's just going to be a little bit heat. Not as hot as we had in Texas, but still, how much will that factor in?
Always a factor, but us Sevens players, see how I group myself in there still, used to the heat. We love chasing the sun, and this is what we want to play, and we want the fans to have a great experience. We want to play fast rugby, and that's what we're going to see today.
All right, well, we do have another member of our team. We mentioned her early. Bree Kim is down pitch side. She is with Katherine Johnson. KJ.
And Olympian KJ Johnson playing for the Rocky Mountain Experts. Now, KJ, you guys had a bit of a rough go at it in Minneapolis, so tell me what you guys really took away that really went into your preparation this week.
I think the main thing is just playing it cool, playing our own game. We got a little frantic, and let those first game nerves get to us. So we're just going to play our own game.
Totally new day today. Anything can happen. Tight score lines. So you guys are up first against the Retrievers. What do you expect from them, and what are you really focusing on for your team?
Well, they're just a big team. They're positive. They have very versatile players all around. So I expect a really, really good game from them. But it is Sevens. It's anyone's game at any day, and that's the exciting part about it. So we're going to bring our best. We're going to hope to use every single piece we have as well and take advantage of mistakes.
Expecting some big hits and runs from you today, KJ. Good luck today.
Thank you.
All right, well, obviously we got you caught up on the women's side of things. On the men's side, similar situation. Let's talk about where they are at coming in to this Western Conference final. It's going to be tight there as well.
Same thing, very close matchups in Minnesota, but it was the experts who came out on top. They lifted that trophy. They were really well-rounded, just a balanced team. They had power, they had pace, they have speed. but they have some workhorses in the middle, and you can see how those standings line up.
And again, the scenario is so very, very similar. The number 1 seed, if you win, you're obviously locked and in. The Loggerheads, with all the work to do again, they need to win outright. The Loonies need that first or second, and that is if the Loonies do finish in second. So the scenarios are virtually the same. The number 1 seeds have put themselves in a good spot, and we had talked about that. Some highlights from Minnesota. How about the performance of Noah Brown last week, or a couple weeks ago?
Noah Brown, a capped player for the USA team. He really put the Loonies squad on his back, scoring several tries himself. But what really impressed me with him is he's always involved. He's always in the middle of the pitch, but he backs up his play as well. He gets into the try zone himself. He sets up his teammates, and he's just really a team player.
And how about Corey Jones? Absolutely fantastic for the experts in Minnesota.
Corey Jones, you see him with the long reach, that stature, and he was wearing his former teammate's name on his back as a tribute to a phenomenal rugby player. And his aerials really stood out, just possession. And you see there, he has the ability to finish as well, but he brings a lot of energy to that expert side, and they'll need that today if they want to come out on top again.
All right, let's go back down pitch side to Bree. She's standing by with Madison Hughes.
All right, I am here today with USA Sevens and 15s Eagle and Olympian Madison Hughes playing for the experts today. Now, Madison, your team came out on top in Minneapolis, so put you guys in a really good position trying to clinch a championship berth. What were your takeaways from Minneapolis?
Yeah, I mean, we got off to a really good start in Minneapolis, and now it's just about trying to continue that momentum. We got some good players coming in as well. So I think it's about going moment by moment, game by game, every single match. All these teams are so tough to play against. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and we'll see what happens.
Some really close score lines, and of course you had the Loonies up first today. What do you expect from them? What is your team trying to achieve in this game?
Yeah, I mean, the Loonies got lots of dynamic threats, so we know they're going to come out firing. They got a little unlucky in Minneapolis, I think, so I think they're going to be coming at us right from the word go, so we've got to be ready for that challenge and take it to them right from the beginning.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Madison, good luck today.
Awesome, thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it.
Madison Hughes, such a staple. He's been so great, and expect good things out of him as well today.
Such a leader. He's really achieved everything you can in the sport of rugby. He's gone to the Olympics twice, and it's so wonderful to have that talent out here growing the sport in America.
All right, let's talk points. Week 1 and week 2. This is currently where things stand at. These are what you can earn. So in week 1, the points change a little bit in Premier Rugby Sevens, and that's what keeps things interesting. Obviously, the stakes are higher. 19 points for first, 11 for second, 5 for third, 2 for fourth.
So there's even more to go out and get. Nothing to lose, but go out and grab it. That first place finish is going to be critical. We already spoke to it. Getting those 19 points is going to put you in that best spot possible to play in DC.
All right, and here's a look at what you're going to see today. Pleasure to have you with us. We'll have that first women's semifinal. It'll be Loggerheads and Loonies, and then the second, Retrievers Experts, and the men's semifinal. The first one at 7:01 Eastern Time. It'll be Loonies and Experts, and that second one at 7:26 roughly will be Retrievers versus Loggerheads. So a good matchup. We'll do both of the women's semifinals first, and then we'll have those men's in there. All right, let's go down to Bree one more time, pitch side. She's standing by with Kelly Griffin, the coach of the Retrievers.
I'm here with head coach of the Golden State Retrievers, Kelly Griffin. Now, Kelly, you guys finished second place in Minneapolis. Tell me what your takeaways were heading into this week.
My takeaways were that all the women's teams are really bringing it this year. All the games there on both sides, men and women, were so close, all decided within a try, all decided in the last seconds of the game. So you really can't take anything for granted, and it could really be anybody's game.
Yeah, and so today you go into the first game against the experts. Tell me what you expect from them and what you're trying to achieve with your side today.
So the experts is the only team in Minneapolis we didn't play against, so it'll be a new challenge for us. I've got a lot of respect for them. They've got some great athletes. They've got high caliber athletes. They've got great coaches, so I'm just excited to finally get out on the pitch and see how the rugby ball bounces.
It's going to be a great weather today. And the last question for you, of course, this week you've been prepping from Minneapolis, but you also did some local community work. You're a California native yourself, so tell me what it's like to see rugby growing so tremendously here.
Yeah, it's really great. It's really exciting. When I was a kid, I didn't have a good awareness of rugby, but now it's everywhere here. We got to go out to some local girls teams, and they had so many young girls playing. So I'm really excited to see the growth in the Bay Area and in the U.S. And it was just really cool to be able to have our players connect with them. I think it really fed their souls and hopefully left the girls inspired and with a few new rugby tricks.
Love seeing the work that you guys are doing both on and off the pitch. Good luck today, Kelly. Thank you.
All right, Brie will be with us all evening long, and Abby's with me all evening long, which is fantastic. And I guess my question for you is what do you expect today out of this? I mean, can these lower-seeded teams who need to have that huge win come out and pull us off?
You just heard Kelly Griffin speak of the bounce of the ball. It is sevens, it is short, it's sharp, it's nonstop action. So 14 minutes, it goes by in a flash. Whichever team can minimize their errors will come out on top. But these teams haven't faced each other yet. So it's a new challenge, it's exciting. And this first matchup, we're just starting with a bang. Loonies, the reigning champs from Minnesota, are facing off against the Loggerheads, who have brought in a Looney Sal, a Fijian flyer. She was named to the Dream Team for the women's circuit, and she's going to bring a lot of pizzazz out there on the pitch.
Well, in this first match, as Abby just mentioned, there are a lot of stars to keep an eye out for, and it is a jam-packed roster of talent. How about Gonzalez? We've obviously talked about Besse, but boy, oh boy, it doesn't get much better.
Gonzalez, a Canadian international. She has that physical stature. She makes her presence known on the pitch, but she's a finisher as well. And like you mentioned, both of these sides are just stacked. There is talent across the pitch, from the aerials to the speed to the tackling, and the energy is just going to be phenomenal.
It's going to be a good one to watch, and we're getting ready to send the players to the pitch. Fans are all here for this one, and let's get them all set and started. It's going to be rugby action coming to you from PayPal Park. Pleasure to have you along for Premier Rugby Sevens. Nick Gizmani alongside Abby Gustitis. Bree Kim is down pitch side, and we are pretty much set to go for our first women's semifinal match. The Loonies and the Loggerheads. Abby, again, when you think about these two teams and you think about what's at stake today, what's the conversations going on inside the locker room before this gets going?
The Loonies will need to focus on one thing at a time. They can't get caught up on having lifted that trophy in Minnesota. It's not given here. They have to go out and perform every play. And then on the other side, you have the Loggerheads. A little disappointing performances from them, given that this team does train together a little more frequently with that Rhinos Academy.
We are all set to get this one started from PayPal Park. Pleasure to have you along. Lots at stake. Everybody trying to punch their ticket to the championships in August in Washington. Naimasi gets things started, and there is the kick from the Loggerheads, and right away you get it, and it's Carissa Norston getting taken down quickly. And remember, in rugby, the passes have to be moved backwards. You can move it forward, but that has to be used by a kick. We'll keep you apprised to all of that as it comes into play, but what an exciting sport. It's Crossley now on that far side of the pitch. Good turnout here at PayPal Park in San Jose.
And that's Bianca Silva, you see, wearing that number 11, the Brazilian international. And we already spoke about Renee Gonzalez already making her presence known in the middle of the pitch.
Good contact right away. These two teams going to be very physical. We certainly saw that in Minnesota. And a chance at a break. And a look at this run. Pihikuru will get stopped just over midfield and move to that far side. Loonies coming in, and that is Bianca Silva to tap it down for the try, and it's an early 5-rip lead for the Loonies.
Bianca Silva's second touch of the ball, first try of the day here in San Jose, and that woman has scorched so many pitches across the globe, and she just gets going within the first minute here of PR Sevens.
No problem on the conversion. Silva put her right down in the middle, and one more look at her run.
just coasting on the outside. She does Besse, who is no slouch whatsoever, but it all started from Kayla Maleshi. Starting in that middle of the pitch, she had that half gap, gets the go forward, loggerheads are rolling back, and then it's a simple execution of speed on the outside.
So Bianca Silva with the early try, the 2020 Olympian, makes it 5-0. The conversion was good, so 7-0 with 5 to go, and the loggerheads with some possession. Pushed down hard on this near side, picked up and moved back by Weston. Out of the middle, over to Nia Masi. Nia Masi gets things started to the far side. And look at this. Here's an opportunity way on that far side into the hands of Ulanasau. And she will find the try zone right in between the uprights to bring it to within 2.
Rayapi Alunisau, the 3 Fijians connecting for the loggerheads. Was a beautiful setup from Besse, usually on the outside, but she drags the defense across, creates a really nice gap, and Alunisau has so much pace. Just coasts down the pitch, no one back for the Loonies, and ties it up.
So Abby, let's take a look at how this got started.
So it's Nia Masi sends it to Besse. You see her dragging Gonzalez. Gonzalez is fully committed, hips to the sideline, and then that inside defense from Loonies just a little too delayed. So creates that nice gap for Alunisau to slice right through.
Conversion is good, so tied at 7 with 3:40 to go in the first. It's the Loonies with it near side. Roughed up is Kelter.
You're on the mark, you're on the mark.
Just a long arm penalty there from the Loonies. Referee said not taken from the mark as the loggerheads came in from the side.
All right, let's catch up with Bree. She's down pitch side. What do you got for us, Bree Kim?
We've already seen examples of attack from both sides. Of course, the loggerheads, the Rhino loggerheads striking first, or excuse me, they just scored, but they really utilized the width. The Loonies, who we saw score first, actually really compressed the defense by getting some hard carries up the middle. So contrasting styles of play from the beginning, and as we see this Loonies put in, we'll wonder if Alev is gonna crash here first.
Good stuff from Bree Kim. She's down pitch side with us. The put in will be paused for a moment. Referee with some instruction.
There's always a little back and forth within the scrum. You have the 3 forwards from each side going head to head. Just a little battle there.
Looney's well spread out. They'll move this ball quickly from left to that far side, but a turnover in the middle. Here will be the kick. Nicely done by Pihi Kuru. Recovered by the loggerheads on that far side. That's Pers. To the middle for Besse. Besse moves it back into the hands of Nia Masi, and it happens just that quickly.
And it's a high tackle, so loggerheads look to go quickly. It's the try scorer, Alunisau. Can she outdo Silva? And she is in for a double. You see the referee blow the whistle, and that woman is making a statement here in San Jose.
Our second try, and that puts the loggerheads up again, and they come from behind, and that's what you like to see. This loggerheads team has been very good all season long. They now have 12, and the play of Alunisau early on is just pure power and speed.
It's that Fijian flair we're used to seeing on the Sevens circuit, the offload style, and then they're just always running lines, supporting one another. As you see there, Alunisau converts her own try. A little high tackle coming in from the Loonies. That's what makes them retreat. She uses her footwork and the strength and the speed to finish it off. But this all started from the Loonies kicking away possession. So next scrum, I think they'll probably hold on to that ball, look to execute, maintain, build some pressure and work down the pitch. That kicking tactic can work, but it's not so often seen in the sport of sevens.
And the thinking being, obviously you want to advance the ball, get it out of your own end, but if you don't think you have the legs to pull that off, why pull a move like that?
They were backing Bianca Silva on the edge, which she is a world-class winger, but she's going against a world-class winger. And here's one more look here at Alunisau. Just taken down a little awkwardly, but she maintains her position on the field, gets back as they kick off.
Trainer took a look at her. She seems to be fine, paused on that kickoff, but back to the action now, and it's the Loonies trying to get out of their own end. Crossley over to Pihikuru. Pihikuru to the hands of Ogunjimi. Now it's on the far side, and the Loonies doing their best to spread it out, but ball will head outside into touch, and so we'll have a line out. But first, let's go down to Bree Cambry.
Lots of comms down here on the sideline. I'm standing right next to the Rhino Loggerheads bench, and of course the king of sevens, Waisale Sarevi. He has been barking communications this entire game, and they're even getting communications from the men's side of the staff who are sitting up now, supporting the women's team. It's very interesting seeing the two sides because they're very different right now. Quiet on the Looney side, so we'll see what happens at halftime.
Loggerheads with the recovery. Olunisau now with it, and she's got some speed again, taken down towards the middle. Ball will come loose, retrieved by Lou, and the Loggerheads escape a little bit of trouble. Now it's on the near side, and here comes the pressure. Bessay down on to the kick ahead by Weston, and that will go into touch.
Ran out of options there. You see there was only 2 Loggerheads, including Bessay, who fires it back inside to her teammate. Sort of a last-ditch effort, kicks in behind, but rolling into touch, so you're giving away possession again.
I'll tell you what, Olunisau has still not been quite right since that tackle. She's favoring a little bit of an injury here so far, it looks like, but she'll stay in, but a little bit shaken up after that hit.
Physical sport, full contact. No ill intentions meant by it, but again, something you have to work through, fight through. So we'll see if she comes back into this second half as Loggerheads have the lead at halftime.
14-7 after just 7 minutes of action. Everybody hydrating, and you have to remember this is done at full tilt on a full-size field. So even though sevens fewer players, it is the same pace, it is the same physicality, and you are absolutely gassed. All right, make sure that you get the official gear of PR Sevens at shop.pr7s.com. 14-7, pleasure to have you along for this one. Make sure you get all that good gear. I could use some more gear.
Always use more gear, more stash, and 8 teams to choose from, but right now, it's got to be Loonies or Loggerheads, so.
I mean, I'm kind of favoring we're in the Golden State. I love the Retrievers. They got the little stuffed animal mascot on the sideline. I mean, that's an effort for me. I'm a dog guy anyway, Abby.
Well, that makes one of us, so.
Don't like dogs.
I'll stick to the rugby.
We'll have to talk about that later.
But we have ourselves another tight matchup here on your screen there, Natalie Bjorklund. Spent some time training with the USA Sevens team and now training with the Rhinos Academy in Southern California. But what a first half.
Olunisau with 12 points for the Loggerheads. It was Silva, Kelter, and Nyamasi also getting on the board for points. Nyamasi had 2, Kelter had 2, and Silva with 5. All right, second half underway here at PayPal Park in San Jose, California. Loggerheads with it. They will control, moving now from right to left on your television screen. To the far side, the Loggerheads a little bit hemmed in. They're going to have to try to find some space, and they will. Namasamalua down. She'll find a way to move the ball out. Loggerheads now trying to get a little bit of gapping here. Beautiful pitch to the hands of Olunisau, and she will have to reverse and run into a little bit of a Looney wall in the middle of the pitch. Taken down hard, but back up to her feet. Perfect pass into the hands of Nyamasi. Bessay trying to find some space and some pace, but she was taken down. Ball pops out into the hands of the Loonies. And
it's a frenetic start to this second half. We see the Loggerheads were trying to use their physicality, get out of their own 22. And the Fijians just balanced runners, right? They get hit, but they stay on their feet. There's their support, but just a little miss pass, and Loonies did well to dive on that. That was Kayla Maleshi. She's really already made an impact here in this match.
So we'll have a scrum, but first, let's go down to Bree Cambry.
Heard some quick messages at halftime from both teams. For the Rhino Loggerheads, they wanted to shift quicker. They felt like they could apply even more pressure. Now for the Loonies, they said that the team who has the most possession this half is going to win, so they are looking to make the most of this first possession.
Good stuff, Bree. And it is the Loonies trying to come from behind. They make a run on that far side. Ball will come down in a tackle, but good movement here. Loonies finding some space. Look at this. Big opportunity on the run and taken down just before, but it'll go in for the try, and touchdown is Valenzuela. And that will bring this to within 2 as the Loonies find that possession and get a little bit of offense on a great run.
The Canadian women connecting for the Loonies, and Renee Gonzalez, that was all her from the start. Had that break, connects with her teammate Valenzuela, running a beautiful support line inside. It wasn't a perfect pass, but great hands there and the awareness to support her teammate. It all started from a little bit of a disjointed defense from the Loggerheads. They actually had 2 people in the backfield, so it was a shortened defensive line, big gap there. Gonzalez spots it. Purse does really well to get back, but then Aluni Sal potentially just nursing that injury from the first half still. You see Gonzalez gets her arms free, and Valenzuela just scoops it up and is under the post. And we have ourselves another tie game, which I am on repeat from Minnesota.
Well, you know what? That's why this changes so quickly. But as you mentioned, full credit to Gonzalez there for getting that started initially, and all tied up at 14 with 3:50 to go. Loggerheads with that possession now. Far side, big tackle. They will wait. Ball will come loose. Kicked ahead. That one's by Purse. And again, we see a turnover there, Abs, and the Loonies will win that battle to the loose ball.
I'm not kicking the ball away if it's tied 14-14. And to that danger woman, the 2-time Olympian, Alev Kelter. She is so difficult to bring down. She makes about 50 meters, and now Loonies just have a massive overload. See if they can exploit it.
It was Silva into the hands of Ogunjimi, and just off the hands, and it'll be knocked on. Oh, and a perfect opportunity with just 3 to go, and a little mistake on this near side of the pitch causes that knock on.
Just letting her eyes off the ball. It was simple through the hands, just lets it go forward. Should be disappointed not catching that one on the full. Try line was straight ahead, no one in front.
Had the wide open lane to put the Loonies into the lead. So it will be a scrum.
Now Loggerheads ball deep in their own 22. They've elected to kick a few times. However, tied ball game, which we've spoken of. So for me, I'm using the width. I'm backing the footwork and the pace of my teammates here.
This one won't work. They'll try it again. And while we wait for that scrum, let's go down to Bree Kim. Bree?
We talked about the sun already, guys, but it is a nice and chilly 89 degrees right now, pitch side, and you're seeing it start to really affect the energy levels here. So you're wondering what kind of subs these coaches are going to make in these last few minutes.
Good stuff, Bree, and we'll talk about the subs a little bit, Abby. I mean, in these final minutes, Loggerheads will pick it up, and now here they will elect to kick it again, but perhaps a run. Nyamasi trying to get to it, went for another opportunity at the kick, but could not. Gauto will pick it up, and we will remain tied at 14, as you were saying.
It's a high risk, high reward style of play within sevens, especially kicking it. You're backing yourself, and when it works, you truly are the hero, and it's incredible. But here, just a little mishandle, and now you're gifting possession back to the Loonies. They have a midfield scrum. This is a great attacking opportunity. You have threats on both sides. Alev Kelter pulling the strings with Kayla Maleshi here.
That time the kick almost did work, though, for the Loggerheads, so it was a little bit more well thought out. So clearly that must have been the conversation ahead of time if they have these opportunities.
Right, almost doesn't count in rugby or get you points on the board, unfortunately. So Loonies here, you see Kelter and Maleshi having a quick conversation. There's a lot of space on the bottom side of your screen. The Loggerheads defense super condensed in their back line.
So Weston did just come out for the Loggerheads. Gonzalez in. We talked about that. There will be some subs. The heat is a factor, but the Loonies with a chance. A nice run here into the hands of Maleshi. Look at the room that they have on this far side. There's the pass into the hands of Norston. Norston cuts back to the middle. Will be knocked down, but the pass will be successful. Ball comes loose, and it should be Looney's ball.
Ball will stay in possession with the Loonies. It seems to have been knocked on within the tackle, so no intent there. You see the referee making the tackle signal, so just an accidental knock on here. So it will be a scrum now on this right-hand side. Kayla Maleshi did so well there to read the defense, have that break up the middle, and then Looney's just not quite connecting on those second and third touches.
Lowhouse coming in on the Loggerhead side. Thiesby coming in on the Looney side, so a pair of 14s as we get set for this scrum. Looney's figure it out. Possession was theirs. Long pass. Won't make the complete reach, but will it be good enough? Is Silva trying to find the try zone? She's tackled down. Ball is out and cleaned. Looney's trying to make that move, and it's Kelter, who we talked about being so hard to take down, gets it close to the try line and will find it. So with 50 seconds to go, Kelter, who is just so strong and tough, finds 5 more points.
Never liked lining up against her in training. I always walk to the opposite side of the field, but she bullies her way over that try zone. She comes from an ice hockey background, so super strong, super well balanced, and that low center of gravity, and just works her way into the whitewash.
I was talking to some hockey players in between the Minnesota stop and here, and hockey players have an affinity for thinking they're pretty tough. And when we talked about rugby, they're like, nah, it is nothing like rugby players.
You see Alev there at the back of the scrum, just scoops it at the base, spots a little gap, and it took 3, maybe 4 Loggerheads to bring that woman down. But she was too close to the try zone. She wasn't going to be stopped from that far out.
Well, you could just see the power. She knew she was draped, had to end up just moving the legs and finds a way. Will she get the extra conversion?
Now she knows that time is expiring. She has 30 full seconds to take that kick. And what a beautiful strike, but it looks like it just goes off to the left. Now there's almost 10 seconds left, so there will be a restart. Alev's gonna take her time getting there. The clock will run out, so this will be last play. So if Loggerheads can maintain possession off this kickoff, get down the pitch, there is a chance that they will progress to the final.
For those of you new to Rugby Sevens, even though time has now expired, as Abby just said, we're not done yet. Oh, and just off of the hands, but the Loggerheads recover before it goes into touch, and one last little chance at it here.
And remember, if the Loonies win this match, they are automatically going to DC and booking their tickets.
And the Loonies will pick up a turnover on just a fumble. The Loggerheads had the opportunity. It will be kicked into touch by the Loonies. This one will finish off. It'll be a 19-14 final. And it is the Loonies who have already punched their ticket to DC.
They were the #1 seed coming into this tournament. You see what it means. They know that if they won this match, they were going into the final today. But more importantly, they're going into that final in DC in August.
When you look up and down the performers in this one, Abs, I mean, Aluni Sao was fantastic, far and away the MVP for me in this first match.
Such a standout player. I've seen her play amongst the best in the world, and she has made a name for herself there, and she's already lighting up this pitch. So we will see her with the Loggerheads later on, but to their disappointment, it won't be in that final. They'll be playing off for that 3rd place. But the Loonies, Alev Kelter was all over the pitch, and Bianca Silva, first time pulling on that Loonies jersey, and opened up this scoring here.
Well, you talk about Kelter, and it's her power for me. Obviously, she will be the one that gets credited with the try that ended up winning it for them. But when we think back to Minnesota, she was a force there as well.
She's a force no matter what version of rugby she's playing. She's gone to the World Cup 2 different times for the 15s aside, 2 Olympic appearances for her, and she's still going. A lot of gas left in the tank, I think.
So this one concludes a 19-14 victory for the Loonies over the Loggerheads, and it was Alev Kelter in that final moment, in that final minute of the second half, who powered through and finds the try zone to punch the ticket to DC as Premier Rugby Sevens continues on from PayPal Park in San Jose, California.
You see the team there, Loonies, and that clinched signage, all smiles. Head coach Robin McDowell has been with the Loonies.
Well, look at the celebration. So the Loonies advance to the championship, and they also are on their way to DC. I think the parity in this league for me is a big deal. You don't know at any moment who might be the one that's going to come ahead in this, and I think even though they were the #1 seeds coming in, there was still some question as to what was going to happen.
100% with sevens. It's such a short game. Anything can happen. The bounce of the ball is a big factor, tactic, strategy, but the energy and the mistakes all come into play as well.
All right, Bree Kim is standing by with Alev Kelter.
Here with player of the match, Alev Kelter. That was a crazy one, Alev. Just walk me through the last few minutes of that match for you all.
Well, first off, I just want to say hats off to the Rhino Loggerheads. What an amazing team. You know, Sarabi's got unbelievable Fijians keeping the ball alive, having continuity, and it's extremely hard to one tackle. I saw, you know, a couple on my face over there, but they're an amazing side, and they never gave up, and that was just really fun to play.
You clinched the championship berth. Congratulations. What are you thinking about for this next match?
Yeah, just to go back to our process, and you know, part of this is staying true to our process and going through every check mark that we have in the locker room and supporting each other. I mean, we had a very short week here, and we had almost a whole new team. So, you know, that's the fun of club rugby of PR Sevens, and we have amazing players from all around the world here playing and you know, getting to express themselves together, and that's just unbelievable.
Congrats again, Alev. Go ahead and recover now. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, good stuff from Kelter. Fans out. I don't know if I'd be putting more layers on, but I love it. All right, let's talk about our stars to watch as we get you set for the Retrievers and Rocky Mountain Experts. We'll start with this one, and you know the name, Ruby Tui, and on the other side, it'll be Katherine Johnson, but let's talk about Tui.
Ruby Tui, Olympic gold medalist, World Cup winner. She really has gone to the pinnacle of this sport in every possible way. She's such a workhorse, but she's such a personality on and off the pitch, and I think she brings a lot of energy and pulls those retrievers together. And then on the other side, another Olympian, Katherine Johnson, better known as KJ. She is such an asset. She's works in the middle of the pitch. She's such an organizer, but she brings this physicality that you don't expect from her.
Another big scenario here, Abby, so whoever wins is headed for DC.
Everything to play for then, and these two have not faced off yet. So big opportunity ahead. 14 minutes, we've said it a million times already, but right from the start, the experts will want to right some wrongs from Minnesota, and Katherine Johnson's going to be there right in the mix.
On the other side, we talked about the Golden State Retrievers. We obviously just highlighted Ruby Tui, but someone who you saw in our pregame show was Liz Tafuna, and when you think back to the way she played in Minnesota, she is really the one I'm watching aside from Ruby Tui. Everybody knows what Tui is going to bring to the table for the Retrievers, but Tafuna was a force to be reckoned with in Minnesota and really probably one of the catalysts for this team.
A catalyst, exactly the word I was going to use. She's galvanized this team, lifting their spirits and energies Everyone expects Ruby Tui to be in the middle of the pitch, but Liz Tafuna runs those beautiful lines. She supports her teammates endlessly, and she is very difficult to bring down.
Kelly Griffin coaching, we heard from her earlier as well. That's a look at Tafuna, the 6. And as we mentioned, this is for the clinch and to head to DC for all the marbles in August. Another look at that lineup for the experts. We talked about Johnson, KJ. Anybody else standing out for you?
Just one other name on that list was Nakamura. She was a former captain for the Japanese women's sevens team, an Olympian herself. And it's just so great to see all these women coming together from across the globe.
Foster will get things started, and there is the kick. And a big hit by Tafuna to start this off. Holy smokes, like a train coming in.
So that's going to be a card straight away, I believe, for Liz Tafuna, because Nicolau was up in the air going for that kick. Liz Tafuna took her out while her feet are not on the field. So playing anyone in the air is illegal and usually results in 2 minutes in the sin bin. But medical staff just taking a look at her. No ill intention again. Both players just wanting to get after that ball. But again, full contact sport, those massive collisions happen.
Well, Liz Tafuna took the brunt of that. Let's take another look at this one, as it was a quick start. And Tafuna just coming in with a force.
As you can see, Nicolau gets up in the air. Tafuna takes her eyes off the ball, it looks like, just maybe briefly. Again, no harm intended, and I think, like you said, Tafuna was worse off in that one, but she's on her feet, and she'll serve 2 minutes in the bin. So that's Retrievers down to 6 right at the first start of this match.
5 seconds in, and not the necessarily time you want to do it. And I guess the question could be asked, is there too much aggression at times? But I think in that case, it was just Tafuna off on the timing by a half a second.
100%, just bad timing, but real opportunity here for experts. They're going to have a woman overload for the next 2 minutes, and that woman with ball in hand, Sue Adegoke, she is very dangerous.
Adegoke taken down at midfield. The ball comes out, the experts still with it. Spiff to the middle. Once again, a good tackle. This one physical right from the start. Love the pacing. There's so much room on that left side. There's the move across. That is it, our first try of the match. It's in the hands of KJ. She will move it over to Nicolau, and it is a 5-0 start just into the first minute of our second match.
So already a result from our power play, which I believe you know the term pretty well yourself. But Nicolau and Johnson connecting on the top of your screen, that far side of the pitch. Just beautiful interplay. I love the support. Both looking like they could score, but the selflessness really rewarding for the experts. And 5 points already.
Rugby, physical, just like hockey. You've got sin bin, you got power play, you got breakaways. I love it. And just an absolute run as it's 5-0 for the experts, 5:29 in. Nicolau with so much pace and just a beautiful pass.
I love how she carries the ball in 2 hands and then dishes it off to KJ and does the exact same thing, but she continues to support on that inside. Doesn't expect KJ to score straight away because there's some incredible defenders out there on the pitch. But that support will get you that try.
Off of the hands, and the Retrievers trying to play catch up after being down early in this first minute, not only in players but in points. Big tackle, and the experts' physicality retrieves the ball, and they will work it back their direction. Beautiful pass, and this one just into the hands, trying to avoid the knock-on, but it will occur, and that was a close one.
Experts just forcing it a little too much. They already have the overlap. They've already created the space, but they're getting too tight to the defense, not keeping that passing lane open. So you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to nail the perfect pass, whereas if you just send it early, back your speed, you're maintaining possession.
Such a great point on the defense. That knock-on occurred, so a scrum coming. All right, Bree Kim, what do you have for us down there?
I was standing right behind Liz Tafuna, who just finished up the yellow card penalty, but we see Mata Hingano come on. Tafuna returns to the bench, probably has a few more minutes before we see her return to the field.
That was a big hit. They'll just make sure she's all right. We'll keep an eye on that. Thank you, Bree.
We are back to our full complement of 7 for the Retrievers. So all matched up out there as play continues.
Very important for them to try to get on the board right now. As we told you, this happens so very quickly. Tui on that far side will move the ball across. Retrievers trying to get themselves back to even. They certainly appreciate the extra help. Good passing by the Retrievers and a huge hit. Hingano taken down.
Double tackle coming in. You see experts just flying off the line, getting in the face of the Retrievers. They're playing a 7-up defense, so it's not going to look like a lot of space there for the Retrievers. They'll have to break up the middle and then find a match side to go to.
Sanalato taken down, but the Retrievers still with good possession here, have had it for quite some time now. Gray working the ball on that far side, will be tackled. Waiting for some help. The experts jumping in on that.
Very illegal entry into the ruck.
Yeah.
Just coming in from the side. The ruck is already formed. You have to go north and south. Keep your hips square.
Not sure what the thinking there was. Big pass. Player down in the backfield. That is an expert. Update you on that in just a moment. But the Retrievers hustling up that far right side. 2:40 to go in the first. All across. Retrievers into the hands of Zanalato. Difficult on the tackle. It will be put back to Tui. Tui with a dish to Huey. Huey with some time and space will be taken down just ahead of the try line. 2:25 to go. Experts with the lead.
Experts with just 5 in their line and 1 down on the ground. So it's a massive overlap for the Retrievers. Can they get it through the hands?
Oh, what a beautiful pass. And it's Smith who finds the try zone, but it's not going to count.
It was a forward pass, so again, just keeping ball in hand too long, getting too close to the defense. They had a 2-woman overload. Foster with a great pass to Hingano, and then she just needs to send it early. She doesn't need to engage that last defender. Give the winger the ball with 20 meters of space on the outside.
Is that a pressure mistake with a forward pass like that? Because you did have so much time there.
She's probably thinking, I need to make sure I commit this last defender so my teammate walks in, but you just have to give it early. You've already done the work. The ball is going to move so much faster than you are with it in hand.
Good stuff, Abby. And a scrum coming just outside of the expert zone, and Bree Kim standing by pitch side. What do you got, Bree?
Yeah, you noticed earlier the experts player that was down on the ground, which led to 5 in their defense. It was Mariana Nicolau who went down. It looked like she got some sort of knock to the head in that ruck, so we hope she is all right, but the experts now have a sub back to full strength.
7-on-7. Retrievers trying to figure something out here. They have been playing catch-up since the very beginning. Had a golden opportunity with the forward pass, set them back, and now they're on the far side looking to try something.
Penalty here to the Retrievers as they look to go quickly, but just off the mark. So the expert tackler not rolling away. They're getting caught up and they're slowing down the ball. So that's a long arm penalty for the Retrievers.
Retrievers, as they get close, keep getting knocked back. A compilation of mistakes. There's a pass, but it will just fall a little bit short. The tackle. And an opportunity to that far side. Lucero will find it, and that one isn't going to count either. Oh, goodness.
There is a lot of booing. The crowd is displeased.
Oh, no.
Let's have a look here. Tui does a little hesitation, but great tackle coming in from the experts. And just a little knock on scene there from the referee. He spots it.
How close was that?
Hey, any ball forward off the hands. He's got a much better view than I do out here. I'm not even wearing my glasses, so.
The Retrievers have been oh so close. That is 2 called back. One was the knock on, the other the forward pass. How much does that play in your head?
It's just forcing too much. It's getting eager, trying to get into that try zone as quickly as possible when just maintaining possession, build the pressure, let momentum come. But experts back with ball in hand. Olympian Ariana Ramsey having to go up the short side.
You heard the horn. Things will continue. That was just off the hands, recovered by the Retrievers, but that will also be called back.
Just a lot of mistakes here. You see the arms going up. The crowd is on their feet. They have some questions. We have some questions, but frantic first half, just 5 points to 0. So you see what they're trying to do. They're trying to set up that drag line. Amanda Berto with ball in hand, and then just cuts across is Nakamura, but ball doesn't go to hand. It comes off, and Zanolato, so she is disappointed there. She wants to play on. She has the advantage, and the referee killed it. He said, game is at halftime. Let's call it off, but she wanted to run in and score a try.
It'd be interesting to see how this plays out in the second half. This hometown crowd obviously trying their best to influence the officials, but don't think that is going to be the case. It's 5-0 at halftime. The Retrievers trailing in this one. Nicolau was the one who picked up 5 points early with just 52 seconds into that one, and that was on a power play as well. So, hey, remember to keep up to date on all Premier Rugby Sevens. Visit pr7s.com. Okay, so if you're the Retrievers, Abby, what is your mentality coming into the second half, and do you use that to fuel you a little bit?
It's got to start right from the kickoff, maintaining possession. But for me, it's both sides just need to simplify the game. It seems like a very complicated sport, but both overworking. They need to keep it simple. Just trust the ball, let it do the work, test the edges, and maintain possession.
All right, good stuff. All right, Bree Kim with an update for us down on the pitch at halftime. Bree?
I spoke with assistant coach of the Retrievers, Maddie Baker, asked what the message was at halftime, and she told me it would just keep things patient and composed. They felt like they were being very frantic, trying to push too many things and not let a couple of phases play out. So they want to be able to have those strong carries before sending it out wide, getting it open on the corners. So that was the message to the Retrievers. Felt like they had a lot of momentum at the end of that first half. We'll see how they start off the second half.
All right, Bree, good stuff. Momentum, a big thing in this sport, no question about it. And with time all of the essence right now, it has to be all Retrievers. And you get the feeling like, Abs, they need something to go their way here early on.
And 7 minutes can seem like an eternity, but at the end of this, whoever wins, remember, they're going to DC. They're clinching their spot in that finals weekend on August 6th.
A lot at stake in this one, and just a separation of 5 points, but that clock a factor.
So ball just hits the referee, so anytime they interfere accidentally, it's going to be a scrum. Ball will stay with the team that was attacking. So Retrievers scrum here as medical staff comes on just to check in on one of the players. Player welfare here always at the utmost importance.
And Liz Tafuna is back in, the 6 on the Retrievers side. So good to see she took that penalty and then was subbed out when the penalty expired. And I think they were just trying to make sure she was all right. She took the brunt of that hit in the first minute.
And in this tournament, you actually get 7 subs. So in the traditional version, you have 5, but this is an opportunity to take a player out and put them back in. So we have a player just being assisted off the pitch, just potentially just a little ankle roll, hopefully nothing too serious. She's on her feet, walking off on her own accord, and Kelly Smith in on the Retrievers. Have a look here. You have Jazz Gray lurking at the bottom of your screen and Zanolatu at the top, both really threatening with ball in hand.
If the Retrievers can win this, they will advance. The experts do, it will go to points. That is the most recent update for you in an evolving situation, and that pass just slips through the hands, but Tafuna able to recover. She is being just taken down. The experts triple teaming a very powerful woman.
I think Retrievers had missed her physical presence out there. She always punches it up the middle, gets them some go forward, and they need that.
Talk about momentum creator. That is Tafuna in a nutshell. Ruby Tui now in the middle trying to advance the ball. She will be taken down. Tafuna looking for it, finds it. Tafuna with a beautiful pass, and the Retrievers now will move forward. Tackled by Lucero.
It's a great turnover there from Amanda Berta. The chop tackle comes in. She gets low body height, just hands on the ball, and she resists that initial attempt at a clear out. So it will be their penalty, and as you can see, they're electing for a scrum. So this is going to slow things down a little bit, give them a chance to catch their breath, maybe work a training pitch move here.
We saw the signal for a scrum, so that will come just on the opposite side of midfield. Beautiful pitch here at PayPal Park.
You see Sue Adegoke coming in here, Spiff Cedric going off the pitch. But Sue, one of the speedsters for this side, and just getting a little break, so maybe some fresh legs to bring into this match.
It's a beautiful spot here in San Jose, California. I know you came in hot, but if you don't, if you're not careful, the airport is literally just across the street from the pitch here.
I got my warm-up in just sprinting from the airport about 20 minutes ago.
You made it, and we're happy for it. Just don't know what I would do without you.
People would get bored really quickly.
Very quickly. Very quickly. Oh, the tweets would have been coming in heavily. Still waiting for this scrum. We're going to have a quick sub.
So still on this scrum here, ball remains in the experts' hands. You have Ari Ramsey. She is electric. She has serious wheels. She's played for the USA squad, represented the team at the Olympics. So maybe she'll use some footwork, try to interject some pace here in the middle of the pitch.
I like the coaching thinking here. It's slow it down a little bit. Maybe your team needs a little bit of a breather. You got 4:20 to go, so time a factor, but not huge. But look at this. Experts coming out of this with absolute pace, and it's Ramsey finding her way in, and she will touch it down, and the Experts now up 10 with 4:10 to go. What a turn of events that was.
Like you said, it's a tactic there, putting someone like Ramsey at the scrum half position. You create this space depending on where the scrum is. She had 15 meters of a blind side to work with. Challenging position, but she does so well. She backs herself down the edge and really puts the Experts ahead.
Amanda Berta will miss the conversion, so the difference is 10 with 3:36 to play here in the second half. Well, this will be huge for the Experts. If they can come away with a victory here, that certainly changes the dynamic.
It does. They finished last in Minnesota. But let's have one more look at this Ramsey try. She puts the ball in and then actually goes back to where she came from. Does really well to outpace the defense there, bringing her team into a 2-try lead.
Retrievers now have definitely put themselves up against it. Clock a factor and a 2-try difference. They will need to get something going quickly, and not much has gone their way in this one so far. No luck, no movement, no momentum. Tafuna on this near side. Looked as though she would receive the pass, does not. Ball is down, now Tafuna will pick it up. Has a little bit of space, finds a small gap, looks for some help, doesn't have it. She'll be tackled down near side. Tafuna doing her best to try to create that momentum. Ball will come out. Cook. Now the Retrievers the opposite direction. Foster. Foster will try. Into the hands of Zanolato. Now it's back near side. Retrievers trying to find some power. And they can feel the desperation starting to come in a bit here.
Ramsey just joining that ruck illegally in from the side. Again, we've spoken about that rule, but a little different tactic here. Experts playing that 7-up style, spot the space in behind. Ruby Tui goes for it, and then the bounce is good, and the Retrievers are right back in this.
This one almost did not work out. That Kick ahead, just a little out of reach almost, but a fantastic push, and Cook will put them on the board, and there's plenty of time with 1:40 to go. The difference is 5.
She starts it off herself, Caitlin Tumu Cook, and then Tui, very disappointed not getting the call from the ref, but has the advantage, and then Cook retrieves her own kick. First kick we've seen work today, but it was a beauty.
It was a beauty indeed, and that makes it 7. The difference is 3, so this one not over yet, and that is how quickly this can change.
Still have just over a minute left. Plenty of time for both teams. Looks like time is off here according to the referee. Just getting set up. Megan Foster here, ball in hand. She's done really well to organize the team so far. And experts are playing that 7-up style of defense. So it was a great tactic seen by the Retrievers to expose the backfield.
Ooh, and the catch does not happen because the experts just are having it struggle off their hands. That
And
will be a red card.
another call. So it's only a red card because it's the second yellow card in the match. And anytime you get 2 yellow cards, it will automatically be a red. So Liz Tafuna again, just taking the player out in the air. It's a bit of a tough call. The timing is off. She needs to just check her feet, keep her eyes on the ball, and go for the ball the entire time.
It's just interesting because we haven't seen that out of her in Minnesota. And not that she's doing anything malicious or not here, but like you said, I feel like it's a timing issue for her.
It is, and when you have someone who can kick really well like Foster, she's putting it on a platter. So Liz Tafuna just going after the ball again. No harm intended whatsoever, but I've been on the receiving end and the giving end of both of them, and you never mean to do it. You always want to just keep your eyes on the ball, but like you said, timing an issue, and now experts will look to just kill the clock. They've had this game secured now. If they can put the ball in, the scrum, the back line will most likely just kick it into touch.
Yeah, a little bit of a different second half. I didn't expect it. Time will expire. So as Ab said, this one secured by the experts. They just really need to make this clean. There it will be. They will retrieve it from the scrum, kicked into touch, and that will bring a conclusion to a frustrating match for the Retrievers, no question about it.
Disappointing loss for the Retrievers. They had a great showing in Minnesota, just unable to build on that momentum. So they will actually be out of our championship weekend in DC, but look at what it means to the experts. They are overjoyed, getting their first win of the season as well.
Listen, how important is that? We knew what they had to do coming into this, and you pick up an early advantage. There's the penalty to start things off, and then it's Nicolau with a quick 5 points, just 52 seconds in. Ramsey follows it up, picks up a try at 9:45, and that's the difference right there. You can get out to an early lead, and then you just build and protect, and defense was clutch for them.
Retrievers had that difficult start going right from the get with that yellow card. So being down to 6 players is such a challenge. And then they had to finish the match as well with just 6 on the pitch. So well done to the experts. They were able to exploit that overlap and utilize it. And now they're going to see themselves in a final against the Loonies later today.
Frustrating one for the Retrievers. Perhaps most on the face of number 6 there, Liz Tafuna. Just talked about timing a little bit, but what's going through her mind at this point?
She'll just be disappointed, feeling a little guilty, maybe putting her team in a position that she wouldn't want to do otherwise, just thinking she maybe let the team down, but it is sport. We're all accountable, and I'm sure she'll put her hand up, apologize to the squad, but again, it's a team sport. Everyone's involved, and she'll get to play one more match with the Retrievers on the season.
The Rocky Mountain Experts advanced to the championship, and they have also clinched, so a very big one for them. And it might not create much drama later in the day, but if you're these teams, you don't want to force this into the finals to try to have to win in order to punch your ticket to go to DC. You want to do what you can to get it done early on and take the anomaly out of the game later.
Absolutely. Both these teams did that with the way the points had worked out. So we have two teams that have already secured their spot. I think it will actually create a better atmosphere for the final later on today, because that is now out of your head. The spot is secured. So now it's all about winning each moment, winning the final here in San Jose.
All right, our Bree Kim is down pitch side with Ramsey. What's up? What do we got, Bree?
I'm here with Ariana Ramsey. Ari, you came away with a go-ahead try. Just talk me through those last few minutes and what it felt like.
It was great. We've been practicing that for a while. So when I fully back myself, there's nobody stopping me. So I'm proud that I finally did it and got that dub. We got it. So I'm excited.
Huge win, especially after last week. Tell me what you're thinking about for the next game.
For the next game, we're going to take it moment at a time. We came out very humble and we were ready to just be focused and control of the game. And we did that. And we're going to do it again next time. So.
Thanks so much, Ari. Best of luck.
Thanks, Bree Kim and Ari Ramsey. As you heard from her, it's one moment at a time, but we are shifting gears here now. Women's semifinals done and dusted, 2 spots secured for DC, and now all to play for on the men's.
All right, well, let's talk about stars to watch as we get you set for this first semifinal. First, let's take at the Loonies and Tupuala.
He has been the fly half for the men's 7 squad this entire season. He has great footwork, and he creates a lot of space for his teammates. And then you have Pizza V on the other side. Really a standout player for the Experts.
So as we switch from the women's side to the men's side, the stakes are essentially the same. The number 1 seeds have put themselves in a good spot, but the points do change, obviously, as we showed you that earlier, exponentially here in this second event in the West. I love the way that Premier Rugby Sevens has done that, because you keep things interesting and it forces you to be in a spot where you got to win every time if you want to advance.
Well, only having 2 matches per tournament already heightens that importance, and each game really matters and puts you through to get the most amount of points. But for me, the Experts were the most well-rounded. They were the fully complete squad on the men's side in Minnesota. So I'm looking forward to see how they improve on that performance. And then on the other side, you have the Loonies. They have stars across the pitch, but can they come together and make it happen?
As we see that lineup for the Experts, we talked about P to V. I certainly love all of that, but is there anything else that stands out for you between these two?
It's hard to overlook Madison Hughes in the middle of the pitch. He's that creator. He uses his feet, but his rugby IQ is so high. He's played this sport a long time at the highest level, and he'll be involved in a lot. And we spoke about Corey Jones being an aerialist and a powerful presence for the Experts as well.
All right, we are underway. It is the men's semifinal. First one, and that first kick will go into touch.
So error seen straight away from the Loonies, giving possession right to the Experts. So it's that free kick in the middle of the pitch. They can run a training move. They can elect for the scrum, condense the forwards in. But Madison Hughes, ball in hand, looking to run a set piece play.
Love the performance of Madison Hughes. I've been watching him for quite some time, and certainly a standout for this team. Keep an eye on him. We will definitely keep you updated on number 10. Early on, ball will come into the hands of the Experts, and I'll move to the far side. That'll be Hughes. Now, Mahiloa with the run. How about this from the 12? Mahiloa will come in and make it a 5-0 lead right away, just a minute in.
Great start from the Experts, but it all came from that missed kick from the Loonies. They gave possession back, had to retreat 10. but it was the spacing from the experts that created that try. Pizza V was lurking almost on the touch line, and it just opened up that space for Tuimoiloa, and he had the wheels. He took the edge and opens up this scoring.
The conversion will be short and wide right, so it will remain at 5 with 5:27 to go. We'll talk about mistakes in just a few moments, but let's take a look at the replay here first, Ebbs.
Have a look. So they go up the right-hand side, keep the ball alive, and it's simple hands, but crisp passing. And then just a little hitch kick takes his defender on. Pizza V in support. Brilliant opening try.
Beautiful catch. Loonies will now try to get something rolling of their own. McDonald makes the long-range pass. That's all the way out to the middle. Jack Hidalgo trying to get things started, and what a hit! Goodness. Abs will bring the trainer out, but
looks like time is off. Just have to look after Matty Tago there. Took a massive hit there from the Loonies. Just need to make sure he's okay. Potentially taken off for an HIA.
Well, that was Matty Tago who went down. He'll be attended to. Time is off for the moment. 4:45 is on that clock. The experts with a 5-0 lead. And we have seen the physicality. I mean, obviously, listen, rugby is an incredibly physical, hard-hitting sport. There is a lot of respect in the way that these athletes do hit each other, but lots at stake. You're seeing the you're seeing the aggression's the wrong word, but obviously the stakes are very high. These guys are all athletes. These women are all athletes. You can see the intensity.
Intensity is definitely high here. You can hear the collisions from up here, and we're about 100 meters away. But Matty Tago just being assisted off the pitch. You see there, he just goes in a little high, and head just hits the pitch, so he'll be taken off for a head injury assessment. Most likely will not take part in the rest of this match, but we wish him a speedy recovery. He's walking off on his own accord. He'll get looked after by the wonderful medical staff, and ball will remain with the Loonies here as they had ball in hand.
Well, he got that hit by Ryan Santos, and this is not a small human. 6'1", 235 pounds. Played for the USA Sevens out of Harvard, 2-time collegiate All-American. But, man, that was a big hit. It just kind of caught him underneath that jaw. Certainly not intentional, but big contact.
It is a physical sport, and that's part of why we love it. But, again, always looking after the safety of the players.
So a scrum on the far side. Ball will remain with the Loonies. The put-in is good. Now across into the hands of Hidalgo. Hidalgo gets across center field. Moved back. McDonald. The quick move across to that big man, Ryan Santos, we talked about. Now it's a juke by Dan Norton right at mid-pitch. Big tackle. A lot of physicality in this one. Brown will pick it up, move it off to the middle. Loonies with a lot of possession. Good ball movement, lots of speed. Hidalgo taken down just over the center pitch line. And it's the Loonies who have had possession for the better part of this, except for the experts' early score. Loonies trying to get this thing back to even. Dan Norton. He'll be tackled down, but manages to advance it a smidge. Picked up by Hidalgo. Over to Santos. Santos now far side, and a break right through the middle, and the Loonies will score. Marcus Tupuola, and it is 5s across the board with 3:06 to go.
And the flash footwork of Tupuola gets him in the try zone and gets the Loonies on the board. Looks like conversion is good, so Loonies will take the lead going up 7-5, but let's have a look at this. It's a little hitch kick and then just slices through the indecision between the defense on the experts' sides just keeps that gap. Absolutely stops the experts in their tracks, and he walks into the try zone.
A little look left, a little look right, and a little tap down right between the uprights. And it is a 7-5 match with the conversion good with 2:20 to go in this first half. All right, so Bree Kim is standing by with an update on Tago. What do you got, Bree?
We saw Matty Tago go off and speak with the medical staff, and he is okay. He seems like he is taking his time just to make sure that he is taking some breathing and making sure he's good to go, but the medical staff seems to be good with him. He will not return for this game.
Glad he is all right. Appreciate the update. Good to hear, and safety first. And appreciate the medical staff and, of course, all of this wonderful Premier Rugby Sevens staff doing such a great job. So many characters behind the scenes that make this work. Our hats off to all of them.
Unlucky there from the experts. Looks like just a forward pass called, a little interplay between the center and the wing. So ball will be back in the hands of the Loonies. Momentum sort of shifting to their side. This is a great attacking platform, especially when you have someone like Dan Norton on the edge. He's the all-time leading try scorer on the HSBC World Sevens circuit. So he's been all over the globe, scoring tries left, right, and center. Let's see if they can get the ball in his hands early.
Set.
The last strum and put in by the Loonies resulted in that score. This one comes out clean. Looney's finding some space in the middle. Tried to make a play. Ball will come loose, and that will be whistled down as well.
Tupualu offsides there on the wrong side of the ruck and elected to play the ball illegally. So back to the experts. So multiple turnovers here. Neither team looking after the ball particularly.
This one kicked into touch, and the crowd will get a rise as the man in the front row with the beauty of a catch, and they'll throw that one back. Why don't they put that guy on the roster? 23 in the tank top.
I think that's the loudest we've heard the crowd cheer so far during this match. Well, hopefully this line out will result in something else to give the crowd a cheer.
18 seconds to go. Hughes with the line out for the experts. Up and knocked down beautifully, but Hughes with the running and recovery. That could have gone a few different ways. Moala towards the middle, tackled down. Experts trying to get a little momentum here. They'll look to put it in the hands of Hughes. He has it near side, a little bit of a stumble. He'll be tackled down, pulled out by Meek. Meek to the middle, kicked ahead, another contact, and it will be, wow, you know what? That again is Ryan Santos delivering a solid hit on the experts, and just a little slow to get up to his feet is V.
So looks like he played the player. See, he changes his line to take out Naima and interrupts his line. So that's going to be a penalty to the experts as they go quickly. And do they get in? They are in. They are in the lead. And we have ourselves a game.
How about that? Time expiring. The experts capitalize on a little bit of a fumble early on, but that lineout almost went bad. But boy, oh boy, they'll take it. And it's a 10-7 lead now for the experts, with this one just falling to the side and time running out. The Premier Rugby Sevens is brought to you by Good Sport. Good Sport is the official sports drink of Premier Rugby Sevens. Grab the good. Look at that little rugby fan just hanging out with Dad, having a good time on a beautiful day in San Jose, California at PayPal Park. 1/2 in the books for our first men's semifinal, and it is a 10-7 lead for the experts. Abby, let's take another look at that replay now that we have a moment.
So Corey Jones, ball in two hands, and then just passes it off to Meek. He gets tackled, but he's not held, so he's back to his feet immediately, and he has the strength to get over the line and get 5 points to his name. And again, that try all started from Naima Fulau, and he kicked the ball through but then Ryan Santos just changing his line, playing the player, so that gifted the ball back to the experts. Looney's had to retreat, and they were only 10 meters out from the try zone.
And the experts have that 10-7 lead. A lot of rugby left to play, but a win will advance them to the championship. And right now, the difference maker has been Meek. Hughes was great on that line out, especially on the recovery. But by the way, keep in mind, Meek is actually a chess expert too. So there's some thinking going on there. Not just a big physical tough guy out there for the experts. He's seeing the field in a different way.
Well, hopefully they're doing some thinking out on the pitch as well. And maybe that's partially why they're in the lead.
All right, Bree Kim standing by. Update us on the experts there.
Yeah, got a chance to listen in on the team huddle, and the coaches were saying they're not being aggressive enough in the red zone. So when they're on defense in their own 5, they are not flying up at the speed that their coaching staff wants them to. That was the main message at half, so we'll see what they do in this next half.
All right, good stuff, Bree. Some adjustments being made down low. And we are underway for our final 7 in our first semifinal for the men. Glad to have you along in this one. Nick Gismondi, Abby Gustitis, and Bree Kim down pitch side from PayPal Park in San Jose, California on a hot one. Looney's with some pace now, playing with some desperation. Norton moving it back towards the middle. Here's some room. Right up the center, trying to find a little bit of space, but will be taken down. Ball will come loose and held on to, and Hidalgo, who's been just so quick, and it's a turnover, so the experts coming back the other direction. They would love to seal this away, and could with another try. Hughes, far side, puts it into the hands of Corey Jones. Move to the far side. Experts looking for a little bit of space, a little slippage, but the tackle happening just in front of us here. Ball not loose. It will come out, will remain for the experts. A little bit of confusion there. Now they figure it out. Moala picks it up from the tackle. Drop down now to the hands of the missile. Over to Hughes. Hughes with some time and space. Beautiful pass over to Fualawao, and he will come across, and does he get it?
And a little knock on there.
They will call a knock on. I thought he had it. We'll take another look at it when we can, but that was super close.
It was a great break of the middle. Some footwork created some space from Madison Hughes. A lovely inside ball. And then coming across, oh, he just loses the ball in the tackle. And that was Ulu Nuituipuiva'a. And just great cover defense. I love the relentlessness there.
A lot of effort, a lot of push. We saw that happen in the final women's semifinals. So many close calls, and that was... The ball will have come out very oddly there. The Loonies will recover. Now they are up the far side. Here's the run. Look at the time and space, but just taken down. Ball will be thrown back. Pass is good. Looney still maintain. Quick hustle up the middle, and now the tackle just this side of center.
Looney's looking to play quickly. They know they're still down just 3 points, but offsides from the experts, not retreating the 10. So Looney's go quickly. Now he doesn't touch the ball, so it's play on, but experts have recovered, and Madison Hughes is away with ball in 2 hands.
Back and forth into the hands of Jones. Jones taken down. Hughes recovers. Thrown to the middle. Odendahl.
Some fatigue starting to show here. You see how close everyone is to one another. Ball's not going to hand. The skills are going down a little bit as this match comes to a close.
Heat's a factor. Fatigue's a factor. This has been a very physical match. Hughes throws it across, and Fualawao is knocked down. It's recovered by the Loonies on some heavy hitting, and a big run by Ryan Santos, who has been instrumental for this team in both physicality and now points. Will find his way to the middle, take some time, drop a knee, and will wait to the last possible second to eat some clock, and a smart play by him to try to like eke it out as much as he could, but it all starts from this hit just upfield.
Madison Hughes coming across. He really should have kept it. He set up his USA teammate, his experts teammate, to get absolutely rocked, but great read on defense. And then Ryan Santos, like you said, he's made his presence known, being a ball carrier, but here he is from his own 22, just coasting down the entire pitch. No one in sight. There were bodies all over the pitch. Fatigue, a heavy factor here as the last 3 minutes tick away.
Ryan Santos will catch his breath now. The man who has put his team up. The difference is 4 with 2:49 to go. And that clock is running. Looney's having some discussion.
Looks like time is off. Maybe they made a substitute. There's definitely some confusion on the side of the pitch as Lockie McDonald just came off, but time will go back on. Looney's kicking off, just 4 points the difference here.
I think they're asking some questions because the clock never stopped, so they're potentially going to add. Picked up here, now moved back. Oh, look at this. Experts will recover. Big run on the far side, and the Experts right back in this with a hustle by Williams. And with under 2 to go, it's the Experts who have eked back into the lead.
What a response there from the Experts.
Well, it's a quick answer. And with 1:40 to go, it's a 1-point difference, waiting on the conversion.
Just when it seemed like Looney's had all the momentum, they just scored, they just took the lead, but this is end-to-end action. This is Sevens.
That will miss to the wide, so the difference is 1. Lots of time left in this with 1:20 to go.
Have a look. Looney's actually recovered their own kickoff, but then it gets a little messy, and Williams heads up play, awareness, and look at the pace. There was no one catching him, no one in sight from the Loonies as he dots it down.
1 minute left on the clock. There will be a little bit of extra time. Looney's recover. Big hit at center. Now it'll be dropped down. Looney's trying to recover, but right in the mix is Corey Jones. No surprise.
And looks like a yellow card will be awarded, potentially an intentional knock on. So anytime you slap that ball down, let's have a look here. So makes the tackle and then just slaps it out of the air. So that is illegal. You're slowing the game down. So Experts will go to 6 players for the remaining 45 seconds, and ball is in the Looney's hands as they have that man overlap with an absolute threat on the edge of the pitch.
Ball kicked ahead.
So it's actually straight out of the tunnel. So it will simply be a reset. So ball remains with the Loonies. They'll reset the scrum. But what you saw was Tupuala lurking to the bottom half of your screen. They know there's no defending scrum half there. So Kahuna Koi, with ball in hand, he'll be the orchestrator pulling the strings here and see who the Experts leave open.
Lots of space picked up by Coy. Off to that far side. They'll come back towards the middle. Sort of ran out of room. That will be the horn. Play will continue on in Sevens. The Loonies looking for anything right now. They trail by 1. Move back. Loonies with some space. McDonald trying to find it to the hands of Viafale. Off to the far side. Quick run. Another beautiful pass. It will be Norton tackled down. Time has expired.
Advantage to the Loonies. Can they use the overlap? They have one other man on the outside, but Tupuala doesn't see him.
Recovers it. Still in the hands of Tupuala. He will move it over to Viafale. Tupualu will hold it, but that will be it.
What a long advantage played by the referee. All the way from the far side of the pitch. In my eyes, that advantage was long achieved as Tupualu came to the bottom half of the screen, but he's choosing to go back to that penalty at the ruck.
Here's another look at it. Abby crushing, seeing this all in real time.
So Tupualu had his teammate outside of him. I believe it was Hidalgo, just foot on the paint, holding the width, and then Tupualu just plays Route 1 rugby there. And luckily they get to keep ball in hand, but experts are now back to their full complement of 7. So this will be the last play. It's 7v7.
Crazy turn of events. The Loonies still in the mix here, but goodness, barely. 15-14 experts. Scrum on the far side. Last chance for the Loonies. To the hands of Norton. Norton with some speed. Take it down. Experts doing their best, hoping it's over, saying it is, saying they have possession.
That is another tough call from the referee. So experts retreating 10, 7-up defense.
Loonies take it down on this near side. That was Coy. Ball will move ahead. It will be kicked into touch.
And that is madness. And that is the experts clinching their spot in DC, clinching their spot in the final later today. But back and forth rugby, exhausting to watch. I'm glad I'm up here, that's for sure.
So many extra things happening in this one, and the Loonies with every opportunity to make it happen, but a 15-14 victory for the experts sends them to DC. So we see very similar things, and we kind of assumed that this is how it was going to play off with just how good these two teams have been, both on the men's and the women's side. The #1 seeds came in with a lot of heat and a lot of power, and they were able to pull it off.
Backing up their performances from Minnesota can be so challenging, especially in this sport where we have seen anything can happen. But well done to the experts. And let's just have a look here. This is the experts' first try. Like we spoke about earlier, it was that width created from the experts that separated the Loonies' defense, and they were able to exploit that gap. And then having a look at the first try from the Loonies, Marcus Tupuala just uses the footwork, the double hitch kick. He literally stops the defense in his tracks, but it was the experts. That man right there, Corey Jones, wearing the name of his former teammate on his back, Bonilla, as a tribute to his friends and family. An incredible asset to this expert side, and I know representing everyone back in Austin well there. And
we talked about him in Minnesota, what an instrumental part of that team that he was there, and their victory in Minnesota. But boy, oh boy, he found a way to get it done again here today. It didn't see him necessarily contribute on the scoreboard as much as he did in Minnesota, but he's clearly one of the leaders on this team, and the presence matters.
100%. He is a workhorse. He's a grafter. He's involved so many times. He gets a lot of touches on the balls. He's in a lot of rucks. He's making tackles, and he's just doing all of that work in the middle of the pitch that you don't generally get a lot of credit for.
So they advance to the championship as well as clinching their trip to DC. Excitement out of these guys on a hot day and a lot of effort. So the #1 seeds finding a way to get this done on a regular basis. It definitely keeps the pedal down for later because of the championships that are available here at this specific stop. But as we see the picture sort of develop a little bit for DC, are you surprised at all?
Not necessarily surprised with who's advancing so far. I think it's just creating an even more exciting atmosphere for that championship weekend. This is still just the Western Conference, so we have the Eastern Conference next weekend in Pittsburgh, where we'll get those other 2 men's and women's teams to see who will face off for that ultimate championship.
All right, well, Bree Kim is standing by with Mr. Jones.
I'm with Corey Jones here. Corey, what a crazy game, but just tell me right now what you thought your team did well in that game.
We stuck to a pattern. We stuck to a pattern, stuck to our system, especially on defense. Looney has a team full of attackers we saw in the first 30 seconds. I mean, amazing power. But the calls didn't go our way at the end, but we heard from the coach sideline, relayed it in. Just stick to your system, stick to your structure. They're going to be slow to the speed of threes, and that's when we end up coming up big at the end.
You've clinched the berth now, but the job's not done. So tell me what you guys are going to be focusing on going into the next match.
Executing on our set-piece plays. We missed a line out. We missed a kickoff. We don't lose those if you look at past history. We got the players that do it, and we'll come back stronger whoever we play in the final.
Congrats, Corey. Good luck.
All right, good stuff, Bree. Thank you very much. And we're going to get you all set for the next match coming up in just a moment here, as it is the second men's semifinal. And here's who we're looking out for. Let's start with the Retrievers and a guy I know well, Tyanosa.
You know, your ribs know. I think they've mended eventually. But we saw him putting in some serious shots in Minnesota. And then Carson O'Donnell in the middle of the pitch for the Loggerheads. Look out for both of these men, as one of them looks to earn that spot in DC.
Physicality is such a big part of this. You get that on the Retrievers side, and obviously they're the home team here, being in California. The Loggerheads also, though, right? I mean, this is a battle of NorCal, SoCal, and I like both of these teams, but if you have to pick an edge, I really don't know which way you're going. I like the physicality of the Retrievers, but there are some forcers on the Loggerheads as well.
And Loggerheads have brought in a couple of new players to debut this weekend. They have Matai Leuta, an Olympian for the U.S. team, and then you have Branko de Pria. He's the South African, also an Olympian, and he has been such an asset to the blitz box over the last few years. He brings an incredible kicking game, but just a high level of intellect on the pitch.
As we take a deeper look at the Loggerheads, anybody else jump off of there for you? We talked about O'Donnell, of course, Leuta, who comes into the mix, as you just mentioned, but they're a pretty deep team when you look up and down.
Very deep. They have the speedster and Fijian Temba on their squad as well, but then having a look on the other side of things, we already spoke about Tyanosa, and then for me, Paul Scanlon wearing the number 10 jersey, the Samoan international. He's usually playing that fly half position somewhere in the middle of the pitch. He has great footwork and pace and loves to set up his teammates. There he is on your screen now, and he's got a lot of physicality, strength, and power around him.
As you mentioned, the Samoan national team member, 5'7", 167 pounds. He's got that speed. Maybe not the thickest of them out there, but it's his effort, it's his hustle that's going to kill you.
He's so crafty. He's one of my favorite players to watch on the circuit, always creating space, not only for himself, but for his teammates as well.
Underway, second semifinal. Pleasure to have you along. Those of you joining us on YouTube from PayPal Park in San Jose, California. It is Premier Rugby Sevens, the final stop for the West, as we are underway, and the Loggerheads in the green with possession early on. Ball will come out into the hands of Leuta. This will head into touch.
Just a little miscommunication there early on, but Retrievers, they're going with the quick line out, so they don't even have to wait for it to be set, because no one on the side of the pitch touched the ball as they look to storm down the pitch.
Tala trying to get things going for the Retrievers. That was thrown in. Bonte now with it near side. Picks it up out of the tackle. Thrown to the far side for Wendling. Wendling trying to find a little bit of space up the middle. He'll get knocked down. Bonte will come to help. It'll be moved aside to Tyanosa. And Inosa with the pitch across into the hands of Tala. I'm pretty sure he made it in.
It looks good from up here, but they will have a glance up at the big screen, I believe. She's checking with her ARs, and yes, the arm goes up, the whistle sounds, and it is a try for Tala Talapusi. And it was simple hands. They'd already created the space. It was that break up the middle from Wenling. It sucked in the defense a little bit, and then some crisp passing, really strong skill set, easy run in for Tala.
We thought he had it, but they wanted to just make sure. He crossed and touched it down. Obviously, they're just making sure he got that downward momentum on the ball in the try zone. He will. Here's the extra conversion. Tala will take his own, and this one just comes off the boot and left, so that won't work. It'll be a 5-0 lead for the Retrievers with 5:25 to go in the first. So another quick early score. And we've seen that a lot here this weekend. Getting out to that quick early lead will pay off.
Getting out quickly, and Tyanosa, he's played a lot of rugby himself. He knows he's already held the defense, gets the ball to the edge. Something we haven't seen today. Normally the people in the middle of the pitch doing a little too much work with ball in hand, but Tyanosa doing just enough there.
Loggerheads received the kick after the try, and they get taken down quickly. In their own zone, they'll elect for the kick and they'll turn the Jets on and try to get to this one. Certainly an advantage. What a run, picked up by Tricky. Can he make it across? He gets taken down, picks himself back up. They're just outside the try zone, but Tricky with quite the run after the kick. Loggerheads trying to get this to even. Dupree's near side, outmatched. Pitched out to the hands of Hare. Hare throws it back behind, a little miscommunication, and we'll reset.
Offsides there from the Retrievers, so the tackler just taking their time to get back on side. So 5 meters away from the try zone as Temba has ball in hand, dishes it off to Bronco Dupria.
That's fine. That's fine. You stay in that line. Do not step up.
Dupree, now movement over to Tricky. This will be taken down. Loggerheads just 5 away, but they've got to reset. Back towards the middle, it's Gallagher. Thinks he's got some space. The pass to Teba, trying to get it left. They do. Loggerheads finding a little bit of space. Big hit. Pitched back towards the middle, trying to just eke it across his hair. Ball will come out one more time. Going in for the try is Leuta. And he will find the try zone to put this at 5 with 3:20 to go. What a good push that was.
The long frame of Leuta just reaching over the try line. But all started from that offsides. But we talked about Paul Scanlon, that he wasn't the biggest of bodies out on the pitch, but he held up well against Leuta, but then just being a meter out, Leuta could fall over the try line and score.
Could see it happening, and perhaps that offside call maybe bought him a little bit of a breather as well.
And conversion is no good, so score remains 5 points to 5. Yet again, it's a back and forth battle here in San Jose.
Can't really pick a momentum either. I feel like both have had their moments. It's been pretty evenly matched. One of the more evenly matched matches that we've seen so far.
No one's quite took a grasp on it just yet, but plenty of time. And in the middle of the pitch, we have one of the players looking after the ref, making sure her mic is all checked out. So we appreciate you, Bronco Dupria, on and off the pitch, just helping us all out.
TV, we call those guys A2s, the second audio guy doing his job down there, helping out. How about that?
Hire him up.
There's the kick by Dupria. Up, knocked down. Retrievers retrieve. And they will move it out. Can't miss those opportunities, Abby. Fonte, far side to the hands of Mr. Enosa. Looking to go back the other way. You're pointing it out. You see it happening. I love it. Abby's up here next to me. She could be coaching right now. Completely saw that play about 3 passes before it happened. Turned over. Loggerheads with a big pickup, and here's a run by Teba. Oh, and a turnover after the Retrievers had good ball movement, and Teba will put it in, and just wait a second. There's the try, and that makes it a difference of 5. It's now Loggerheads 10, Retrievers 5.
There's the try, and maybe there's some momentum on the Rhinos X Loggerheads side, but just when the Retrievers were creating space, finding some mismatches and overloads, but it was just that hesitation, that change of pace from the Fijian, Ioane Temba. He sort of slows things down, and then the defense generally mirrors the attack when they slow things down like that. Conversion is no good, so score remains. But have a look there. It's a show ball inside and show ball outside, hesitating the Retrievers' defense, and he looks around. I think he's just as amazed as we are up here that no one is chasing him down, but one of the easiest tries he'll score.
He had the jump. They will end up counting that conversion. I thought it missed 2, Abby, but we're at a bit of a weird angle here. It will go through, so it is a 12-5 difference right now. And a run by the Retrievers as they try now to get some momentum back. They had it. Wendling to the hands of Tyanosa. Over to Channel. Channel with some space, and he runs into a wall just across the center of the pitch.
Matai coming in from the side, so can they find this overlap? Paul Scanlon, ball goes back behind him, but he resets. Looks like Loggerheads never got back 10 meters, so referee resetting, just saying, hey, slow things down a little bit. They need to get back 10. You need to take this from the mark. Just really nice control of the game, even though the Retrievers are trying to play quickly.
Channel was down on one knee. That's number 9. He's back up to his feet. Trainer came out and now making their way back off. He'll stay in, so a good effort. And I don't have to tell you how tough these players are.
You see Adam Channel there, just calls for the scrum. So loving this attacking opportunity this weekend. It's been a popular choice among the teams. It does slow the game down, but it also brings in a lot of players from both sides. So as you look, you have a 3v3 with almost the entire width of the pitch. So lots of space. You're creating those one-on-one battles.
And a little bit of a, that was a little bit of a messy scrum.
Opportunity missed there. Paul Scanlon will be disappointed with that. Just a little knock on at the base of the scrum, and missing that opportunity, remaining 7 points down at halftime.
And as a result of that knock on, that will bring a conclusion to our first half, and it is a 12-5 lead for the Loggerheads as we continue on from PayPal Park in San Jose. Premier Rugby Sevens is brought to you by Samurai, Push Forward, and by Kane Innovations. All right, halftime as everyone will huddle up in this one. Crowd enjoying it. Great crowd on hand here in San Jose for this one on a beauty of a Saturday afternoon. Nick Ismani alongside Abby Gastaitis, and Bree Kim is down pitch side with us. We'll check in with her in just a moment. But all right, Abs, thoughts on that first half?
A little messy from both sides. We really saw the Loggerheads identify the space. Retrievers playing a 7-up defense, so they're inviting the Loggerheads to kick. However, they might drop a sweeper back in this second half, protect that backfield as they know they're capable of that. And on the other side, the Retrievers just need to look after the ball. They're finding the space, they're creating it, but they're not exploiting it. It's just a little messy.
Abby, I watched you appear. You're so engaged as a broadcaster. Your mannerisms, your arms, like you're almost like you're still out there on the pitch. You've got the coach and player thing going. What adjustments would you make going into this second half if you're the Retrievers trailing?
If I'm the Retrievers, it's all about building pressure, not having to score off first phase. You don't need to get super pressure, put that pressure on yourselves. Just let it work. Let the ball do the work and support one another, because if you maintain that breakdown, the Loggerheads are going to get tired. Playing defense is not that fun, and it's exhausting, and the gaps will open up.
All right, I love it. Analyst of the year is Abby. All right, let's take a look at some scores from earlier in that first women's semis. It was the Loonies over the Loggerheads 19-14, and then the Experts, the #1 seed, defeated the Retrievers 10-7. And in the men's semifinal, it was the Experts coming up better than the Loonies by 1, 15-14. It's been close so far in this one.
Just 5 points the difference across the board, and now we're at a 7-point difference here in this current semifinal between the Loggerheads and Retrievers. So I'm loving the parity, and the challenge is on every single matchup.
Scrum coming. Referee doesn't like it. They'll reset with a little bit of instruction, and then the Loggerheads will have the ball deep inside Retrievers' zone, looking to extend this just a minute into the second.
It's always about who can bend the rules enough without the ref noticing within the scrum.
Yeah, bend, don't break. I live by that pretty much outside of here, too. Loggerheads will.
It looks like the Retrievers broke there, so it will be a penalty, but they elect for a scrum again. So referee just having a word here why she dinged them with the penalty there.
And while we get that sorted out and set for the third attempt at this scrum, let's go down pitch side to Bree Kimbrey.
Yeah, I got word from Coach Peter Seo of the Retrievers, just building off of what Abby said, and he's just saying, look, we can't be frantic. We've got to just enjoy this game. And so for them, they've just got to stay composed, enjoy every single moment, and build those phases, just like Abby was saying, before they can get some more possession here.
I called it. Analyst of the Year up here. Abby Gustitis just crushing it. She might be coaching. You're not actually coaching while we're doing this, are you? You can't double dip, Abs.
I can't tell you that.
Oh, I see. I knew something was going on. Bree, we're going to keep an eye on that. 4:50 to go here in the second. Retrievers will kick this well into touch. The gamesmanship here, different than Minnesota. Is that affected by weather and fatigue?
Definitely tactics will shape to the weather conditions, but the fatigue here is heavy, and these players don't seem quite used to the heat. The ball can get a little slippery. It's a little humid out there, but overall, just a little too many errors on both sides for me.
Retrievers struggle on that line out. Just a little up and out of the reach of Massot. There's the Loggerheads.
Also going for the line out here, so just going for that territory battle, like how close can we get down the field? But a line out is not guaranteed, as we just see the Retrievers lost their last line out. So it's a hotly contested set piece compared to the scrum.
Right, and the scrum has been weird the last few, so now we're seeing the lineouts coming into the play. Did not work for the Retrievers. Sorry, I have to go ahead.
And the difference here with the lineout is the defense actually has to get back 10 meters, so you're having a lot more time and space with your back line if you can get the ball there.
Loggerheads figure it out this time. Beautifully done, and Jay Hare off to the center he goes to Dupree. Dupree moves the ball quickly and efficiently to O'Donnell. O'Donnell on the far side, and the Retrievers start to get physical. Tyanosa looking for the call.
And he gets it. So a massive hit coming in, which just jostles that ball loose. So ball back in Retrievers' hands. But as you can see, we're seeing a lot of exchanging of possessions. So no one looking after it. And now it will be a scrum, I believe, to the Retrievers' side, as the ball carrier lost it in contact for the Loggerheads.
You are right. It will be the Retrievers. So a bit of a slower pace to this second men's semifinal than we've seen, Abby. The scrum will be on the far side of the pitch. It will be the Retrievers.
And that takes that fitness aspect out of it. As the stop-start aspect of this game, it's really just a physical battle, and who's going to win those one-on-one collisions and get down the pitch.
We know both of these two teams very physical. Little mistake. Ball is loose. Loggerheads retain. That one comes out clean. Teba has a little bit of trouble. What a beautiful pass. Throws it into the hands of Adams. Adams makes a run. He gets knocked down. The Retrievers doing their best. He'll pick it back up, and he'll find it into the try zone to pick up a lead. And the Loggerheads, on a beautiful run with 2:35 to go, have made it 17-5. What an effort.
And what a line that was. It's a quick turnover, so Peter Seal will be disappointed with the Retrievers just being a little loose with ball in hand, throwing those 50-50 offloads, and Loggerheads do well to flood those channels. But they move the ball away, 2 passes, and it's that lovely adjustment of his line, angling back in. Temba there just throws the left arm out, stays on his feet, and then you see he edges out and then cuts right back in, slicing that defense. A balanced run. He's too strong, and he gets over the line, taking the Loggerheads even further ahead here.
Derek Adams out of California, a local man. Arvin is his home city, 5'11", 202, played for the San Clemente Rhinos down in SoCal, and he was the lead try scorer at the 2022 PR Sevens.
Now Retrievers have some work to do deep in their own 22. They need 2 tries here to get ahead.
They are going to be racing the clock with under 90 to go in this one. Big hole to climb out of. They've got some space. Loggerheads looking for something on the sidelines. They will not get it. It's Shane Berry now over to the middle for Masseau. Masseau finds a little bit of space, had it, but just got knocked down. Comes out of the tackle clean into the hands of Jones, and he is met and stopped in his tracks. How about this, though? Retrievers with a little bit of space. Adam Channel has it. He will find it, and he will tap it down for the try to bring it to within a score. The 17-10 with under a minute to go, Abby.
All to play for yet again. 7 points the difference, but a driving tackle from the Fijian Temba. I think Loggerheads got amped up for that, but Adam Channel had the awareness to look up, spot the gap, and he just backs himself down the pitch. And now we have the opportunity. So here's another look at that massive tackle. Adam Channel at the base, the Southern California native, throws the left end, a little hitch kick, and just outpaces his opponent there. So last opportunity here for the Retrievers. See if they can kick this high in 10 and regain possession.
All right, there's the kick. Time is going to expire. Oh my goodness, they've done it. What about this? The Retrievers with a huge recovery. Oh my goodness, down by a try. They need a little something here. All the way in, they will find it. Unbelievable. And a run by Paul Scanlon.
Talatapusi, but one in the same. I think they might be wearing similar numbers, 30, not 10. Either way, what a try. What an incredible kickoff scene from the Retrievers. A great catch, but the kick to put this into overtime here. Can he convert his own try?
Talatapusi.
Ice in the veins or not?
Goodness.
Unfortunate.
Does not make it. What an incredible letdown after a last-second try to put it to within 2. But the conversion won't work. And it's a 17-15 final as the Loggerheads come away with a big one.
Another try at the death. We've seen this so many times. Again, the perseverance of these players out here. Never quitting, never say die attitude, and it's really been incredible to watch. But congrats to the Loggerheads. They have won. They will be in the final, and they will be in DC. So handshakes all around on the pitch. Great game, great sportsmanship, but having a look here, Bianca Silva of the Loonies securing that first spot for the Loonies, and then Nicolau getting that try in, and they won their first match getting that final spot. And then onto the men's side, Williams secured it. Again, both experts heading to DC, and then as we just finished this matchup, it was that man, Derek Adams, pushing the Loggerheads through to the final today and through to our country's capital later on this summer.
Oh, look. look at the Western Conference Finals. The results from today, as we talked about, Loonies over the Loggerheads 19-14. The Experts defeat the Retrievers 10-7 to close out the women's semis. And you know what happened in the men's event. This final one, a 17-15 victory for the Loggerheads. As we will get you all set for consolation and finals coming up shortly. But it's a clinch for the Loggerheads, and more excitement as the Premier Rugby Sevens continues to just dominate on a beauty of a day in San Jose. All right, a look at the rest of the schedule here at the Western Conference Finals at PayPal Park in San Jose. The women's third place match coming up at 9:06 Eastern time. That's Retrievers and Loggerheads. Then we'll have the men's third place, the Loonies Retrievers. And then, of course, the finals. Loonies and Experts for the women at 10:06. And then the men will finish it off as the Experts and Loggerheads match up at 10:31. Those finals will air on CBS Sports Network. Let's send it down to Bree Kim.
I'm with Brocco Dupria, who is the most capped South African Sevens player who is coming here to PR Sevens. Now, Brocco, first of all, just tell me, there was a dramatic match at the end. Just tell me what that felt like for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to be and be part of this wonderful setup and event as well. It's been a phenomenal feeling. It's been a while since I played the game, and it's just beautiful to be back.
And you're gracing us with your presence right now. Just tell us what it feels like. You've retired, but now you're here in the U.S. just helping grow the sport. Tell me more about what that feels like.
Yeah, like most people say, I retired, but I still love the game, so I help what I can, and it's just phenomenal being back, especially in this beautiful country, to play the game that I love, and just to give back. I mean, that's the aim of the game, is to give back. The game is going to go on, and you as an individual is going to be done, and there's going to be new talent coming through, so I'm just very pleased with the opportunity and very grateful as well.
Well, you're a wonderful icon for the sport. Thank you so much. Congrats on clinching the berth, and good luck in the next game.
Awesome, thank you.
Good stuff by Bree and the Loggerheads, all excited. What a fantastic interview. Crowd having a good time, and we're not done yet. Make sure you remember that we've got those finals coming up for you on CBS Sports Network. Good one so far here in San Jose for Abby Gustitis, Brianna Kim, and our entire crew. I'm Nick Gismondi. This has been a presentation of Premier Rugby Sevens. Stay tuned for more PR Sevens coverage here on YouTube at 6 p.m. Eastern, followed by coverage of the women's and men's finals. That'll be on CBS Sports Network at 7 Eastern. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. We'll be back to PayPal Park shortly. $45. Oh. Well, it's already been an action-packed day in San Jose between the men and the women at PayPal Park. And Abby, I'll tell you what, you gotta love the rugby in the heat here in Cali.
They have both definitely turned on today. Aluni Sal showed up for the Loggerheads but couldn't get the job done. And then the women, their retrievers, with a beautiful try.
Well, that's not the end of rugby because we got more for you. It's a look outside of PayPal Park in San Jose, California. It's season-long coverage of Premier Rugby Sevens, and it's the Western Conference Finals. Hi, everybody. I'm Nick Gismondi, alongside my partner, Abby Gostitis. We've got Bree Kim down pitch side. We'll get to her shortly as well, but we are so excited to have you along today. It was a fun and exciting early start to the day as we kicked off the semifinals, and we take a look at how the women did early on. And we kind of expected the #1 seeds to do what they were supposed to do, come in and win right away, punch their ticket to DC, and that's exactly what happened.
The Loonies came out so strong. All of the semifinals were tight across the board, men's and women's, but the Loonies women, they did so well. And then the Experts got their first victory of the season and both clinching their spots to DC.
All right, we mentioned that our third member of our team, Bree Kim, is down pitch side. Bree, let's check in and get your opinion on this third place match.
Hey guys, honestly, it has been so tight all day. You guys have already discussed it. Between the Retrievers and the Loggerheads, they're both pretty upset with how they came out in that game. So you know that they have spent the last couple hours trying to figure out what are the key messages for them going into this match. And for them, they've just really got to maintain composure. I think every team is trying to focus on the basics right now, build some continuity, because we haven't really seen that much. So for this game, it means everything. They got to put all of it on the line.
Yeah, and obviously they're still playing for points, still putting the effort in. Great crowd here, by the way, at PayPal Park. And when we switch gears, Abby, and we talk about what we're looking forward to on the men's side of things, what did you see earlier today that stood out to you?
Again, it was the Experts men. They built off that performance from Minnesota, that well-roundedness. I keep speaking to it, but they have power, they have pace, they have people in the middle of the pitch who can create. And then on the other side of the bracket, it was also a tight matchup. The Retrievers just couldn't get it done, though. A kick to win it at the end. Unlucky, but that's the game of sevens. It's absolutely brutal. You have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and everyone here is experiencing that.
We'll talk about the final in a minute, but what do you really expect out of this third place match? Because it has been so closely contested, not even all season long, but here in San Jose as well.
Third place match is all about the energy, who can get up, because you know you're out of contention to lift that championship trophy, and you're now out of contention to go to DC. But who's going to show up with that heart and that passion to play all 14 minutes? And whoever can do that from the get, they're going to have the advantage here today.
All right, Bree, let's go down to you pitch side and get your opinion on how this third place match is going to play out, and maybe what you're hearing from the players and the coaches during that break.
Look, I think just adding on to what Abby said, it's who can play the full 14 minutes, especially on the men's side in those first two games. You saw that it was so critical when the subs came in to make sure that they had an immediate impact. They could immediately lift up the intensity and get their guys going. And so the coaches have a huge task on their hands. They got to make sure that they put them in, make sure the energy stays up at the right times, but making sure that the guys they actually put in can really boost them and get those much needed points on the board. I think it's going to be very close once again. But really, what happens in the last few minutes is going to determine the winner of those matches.
Good stuff down there, Bree. We'll have more from you throughout the match, of course, and interviews with players as well. But what a crowd we have on hand here at PayPal Park. Everybody turning out for this one, and it started earlier in the day. It was nice and toasty out there, topping out at about 93, and sun setting a little bit and the breeze kicking in. And we talk about weather a lot in sports like this, but even more so, Abs, for rugby, because the exertion factor, the fatigue factor, it plays a part. And it seems like 14 minutes may not be that much, but when you're exerting physically and mentally the way they are, tell me about the factor. Tell me about how it looks when you come into these second round of matches.
The second round, it's so difficult. What have you done those last 2 hours to prepare yourself, to rehydrate, to recover? And these women will wanted to put their bodies in the best possible position for their performance in this bronze medal match. The hydration is key, the rest is key. But now it's all out the window because it is game time as the Loggerheads women take the pitch going after that third place finish.
So many big names on this side for the Loggerheads, and when you think about the standouts, we can't keep talking about the same ones, but we'll do it anyway. Besse has been so good. Keep an eye on the number 3 for the ladies in green.
Besse, and then Aluni Sao, we talked about her earlier. We saw her try-scoring abilities in that first match, and if everyone can emulate that around her, give her the ball with time and space, she will set her other teammates up as well. They just need to get those connections on. But as you look to the other side, you have the Retrievers. In that semifinal, they took a big loss going with a sin bin straight away. Liz Tafuna getting that double yellow card, which will take her out of contention for this match. When you get a red card, you generally face a ban. So she will not take part in this match. That's a big loss for the Retrievers. So can they rally? Can they have someone else ignite their team?
Well, they're going to need to. And we've talked about Liz Tafuna. You see her on the sideline. She will be there with her team. She's obviously in the red bib, so not participating in the match. But talk about her presence just there on the sideline and what she's going to be able to bring, because she's a leader. Certainly her performance on the pitch matters, inspires, amps up. But now you've got her in that pseudo coach still rah-rah role.
And rah-rah is exactly what they'll need from her to lift the energy, keep her teammates engaged throughout this 14 minutes.
Pleasure to have you along with us here on YouTube. We are underway in the women's consolation third place match. Glad to have you with us here in San Jose, California. Beautiful evening. Half of the pitch shaded, the other half in the sun. And it is the Retrievers and the Loggerheads in a battle to get this one started. And right away, it will be a line out from the Retrievers. They elect to go with that, and a nice move across the field they go to the hands of Gray, and Gray with some space but puts on the brakes and wheels back as now it's 2 Loggerheads. Besse of the best coming in and holding them back.
And a little messy ball, but they're able to retain it. I'd love to see them get that ball in Jazz Gray's hand a little earlier. Give her the time to create. She's got some great footwork, and she needs to back herself on the edge.
Scoreless just a moment into this match, 1 minute to be exact. As we tick past the 6-minute mark, we understand you don't have the clock graphic on your television screen. We'll keep you updated as best as we can to where we're at on the timing of this consolation match. The Retrievers with it look to make a move to the outside. They had it, waited a little long, and now to the hands of Gray. Retrievers playing the east-west game on the pitch at the moment in the hands of the number 5, Hingano. Down into the tackle, picked up by Hingano again and moved to the far side. There will be the whistle, and scoreless with 5:25 here, Abs.
Just a little messy, maybe a few jitters creeping in, some nerves, wanting to put their best performance out there. Retrievers giving the ball back there are creating space. The Loggerheads are getting condensed on defense, but they're a little too flat. They're too tight to the defensive line, so they're unable to move the ball to the edge without confronting that defensive wall in green.
Things haven't progressed much past one side of the field or the other, and as this scrum gets ready to commence for the Loggerheads, let's send you down to Bree Kim, pitch side. Bree.
Yeah, Loggerhead just played a long phase of defense, and while they did so pretty well with getting this possession, you saw the energy drop a little bit. Some guys, some of the ladies being very gassed, and so you wonder what they're gonna do, because for the Retrievers, if you see that, they're gonna wanna make sure that they can get the attack going, turn over this ball, and get them going and compress them, because their energy levels were starting to drop there.
Good stuff. Got to pick it up a little bit, and we'll see if that improves with 4:26 to go. Big physical play right there in the middle, and that's a move by Pers. She'll take the ball out of that tackle. Chance here into the hands of Nyamasi. Just can't quite get across to Besse. Besse gets knocked down. Ball pops loose, but the Loggerheads recover into the hands of Lunisa. Lunisa down near side, trying. Got that clock back with 4:02 to go. Now move to the far side. Loggerheads trying to make a play. Holding with it is Pers, not quite sure. Now moves to the left. Pitch across to the hands of Namasimalua. And the Retrievers will pick up the recovery and now maintain possession, trying to get it out of their territory. So all of that work by the Loggerheads. Their first burst of offense, and now it won't happen, and it's a clean breakaway, and it will be the Retrievers who will look to score first. Just a solid run down along that far side for Megan Foster. She will find the try zone, and a water break needed because it's 5-rip, but a long run all the way down to make it 5-rip with 3:15.
A lung-busting run from Megan Foster to open up the scoring in this third-place finish. Lo Cicero there, just coming across, gets two defenders, and then Foster normally setting her teammates up for tries, but gets the long-range try to herself this time around.
The conversion will come up short and just left, so the score remains 5-0 with under 3 to play in the first. Disappointing there if you're the Loggerheads. You have all that defense, you get your first burst of offense, and then it's a turnover, and the Retrievers manage to shove it right down your throat.
Well played to the Retrievers, finding the space off the turnover. That is one of the most dangerous times in rugby during that transition period, going from attack to D, and you have to align quickly, and Loggerheads just wasn't good enough there, and Retrievers exploited them.
Retrievers with the kick, but that will go into touch, no problem. Loggerheads have it.
They attempted the quick line out there, but the referee's saying, let's set the line out. So they're gonna have the formal set piece, and a few subs are being made here. Looks like Jess Liu is coming in for Eunice Besse. Jess Liu, also a speedster.
Pause on the line out there. A little bit of last-minute instruction from the official. Now they'll get it right. There was the whistle. Line out still coming. This one from the Loggerheads. Here we go. Beautifully received. Nice pass in the Loggerheads. Back to it. That was just a little out in front. Ball will come loose. Retrievers regain.
Great pressure there from the Retrievers. You see the center and the wing just coming up, putting pressure on the back line of the Loggerheads. Nyamasi just unable to hold on to that.
Just a little out in front of her, maybe, perhaps, and a smidge low.
Just needs to create a little more depth if the Retrievers are going to fly up into your space like that, because as an attacker, you want time and space on your side, and as a defender, you want to take that away. So it's that balance.
Here will be the scrum. Retrievers put it in, clean, and off we go. Megan Foster, the try scorer, had it in her hands, was moved out. Over to Ruby Tui. Ruby Tui with the pass to Zanalato. Zanalato with some space and a hustle, wrapped up and taken down by Bjorklund. Picked up. Retrievers with a little bit of space. Will they cross it across? Is it in for the try? A mass of humanity obscuring the line, and I can't tell if it was touchdown or not.
Referee is saying that it was brought in from the Retrievers, but that the Loggerheads touched it down, so it will be a scrum down. So have a look here. Ruby Tui opts to play quickly. She reaches out in attempt. And does that ball touch the whitewash? It is a tough call. It looked good from up here. Let's have a closer look.
Oof.
It's really tough to tell, but referee, the man with the whistle, is in charge. He gets to make the calls. And so it will be Loggerheads' ball.
Break for the Loggerheads, disappointment for the Retrievers, and they had so many of those in their first match as well.
Messy there in the scrum, but again, ball coming straight out of the tunnel, so it's just a reset. So let's just have one more look, a different angle here. Reaches, oh wow, and what a great call from the referee. It did stop just an inch short, but
that, yeah.
Well done, great placement to call that no try.
So close. Retrievers have the ball to that far side, big punch out. Quickly retrieved by Gray, can't hang on, ball moves forward, Loggerheads will jump on it. And that should bring a conclusion to the half. And it will. It remains 5-0 for the Retrievers at halftime, and just a little bit more bad luck for them. And it's been the theme here in San Jose for the team from Cali.
Messy on both sides. They actually turned over that scrum and would have had a great opportunity to score, but skills letting them down. They need to move that ball quicker and more cleanly.
And reminding you, the Premier Rugby Sevens is brought to you by Rhinos Rugby, an official pathway for all PR Sevens franchises. And by Sperry, the global leader in rail health. Great to have you here at PayPal Park in the shadow of the San Jose Airport, just off the pitch. So if you really kick one, you can take out a 737. Let's go down to Bree. She's got our halftime report.
Yeah, thanks. I was just talking with the Retrievers staff, and they're pretty happy with their defense overall. Felt like they really put a lot of pressure on the Rhinos Loggerheads, but on attack, they need to be more patient. That's something we've talked about all day, but also they want to see more attack from the scrum half, especially off of the scrums, as a perfect opportunity for some set piece and something that they can run their plays off of. So when we go into this next half, make sure you really look out for their attack on the scrums and the lineouts. If they can execute that, they think they will give them the edge in this game.
Good stuff, Bree. Thanks much. And Abby, for you, how do you counter a little bit of that tough luck? Obviously, the Retrievers are up 5-0, so you got that going for you, which is nice. But when you think about it, still a little bit of hiccups here and there, and it's like, oh, I was an inch short of a try, or oh, I didn't get that call going my way.
Again, coming back to that patience factor for me, allow the pressure to build and just set your depth. Both teams playing entirely too flat to the line. You're putting a lot of pressure on your teammates to execute perfect passes, when if you just take a couple of steps back, time and space on your side, and that's what you want as an attacker.
Okay, back underway. Second half ensuing, and it's quickly the Retrievers' ball. They will kick this one forward, but into touch.
Again, it's a decent idea. No one in the backfield, and you have a speedster like Jazz Gray on your outside, but at the same time, simply passing it, giving her that 1v1 opportunity down that 5-meter channel, set the ruck, spread the defense, make them work side to side. You're almost letting them off the hook, kicking that ball away.
I wish we had a cam on you full time in the broadcast booth. Your reactions are priceless. Nicely in by the Retrievers. Tackled down. They have possession. Retrievers, Zanolato on that far side, pulled out by Macedo. Macedo to the hands of Foster. Foster will move it to the far side, but they come back towards the middle. Thrown back into the hands of Cicero. Good defense by the Loggerheads. Very physical. That was almost a forward pass.
So they're seeing the space. Ruby Tui's aware they're pulling the Loggerheads defense in, but the Retrievers aren't resetting in order to use that space.
Will Cicero on the far side. Tackled down. Retrievers with a chance here. Finally a little bit of better ball movement. Over to the hands of Cook. Beautiful pass this side. Zanaletto has it. Will find the try zone, and the Retrievers will make it 10. Nicely done. Abby Gustitis approves as well from high above here in the broadcast booth. She saw that whole play coming out. 4:57 to go, and it's 10-0 Retrievers.
Zanaletto just held the width. She backed herself on the outside. I think she wanted to cut back inside desperately, and I loved that she stayed wide. She used her speed, but it was a well-worked try. They used both edges of the field. They spread the defense and then found the overlap. Have a look again. Jazz Gray cutting back in the middle. Carmen Macedo to Cook to Zanaletto, and then just a little stutter off the left foot. Pins her ears back, and she's in for the Retrievers' second. And the conversion also good, taking this to 12 points up. Retrievers.
Zanaletto with good footwork there. Loggerheads will pick it up. There's the kick ahead, but nobody going to be there to recover that one, so it will be Golden State with possession.
Offsides from the Loggerheads, just getting caught in front of the kicker. She certainly did not look back 10 meters, so referee's going to go to the pocket. She made no attempt to go back 10 meters. Retrievers will get called back. You cannot play on when a player is being given a yellow card, as the ref has to make sure they get off the field. So Loggerheads down to 6. It's really going to become a little desperate situation here as they attempt to climb back from this 12-point deficit with only 6 players for the next 2 minutes.
Ruby Tui in a little bit of discomfort. And I love the efforts there of Liz Tafuna coming out with the water bottle, hustling up, doing what she can for her teammates, still contributing, even though she's not a part of this match. I love to see it. It's great teamwork. It's that family bond that you talked about, Abby.
Definitely got to be there in support on and off the pitch. It goes a long way. And I like this tactic from the Retrievers. They're up those 2 scores as we spoke about. So now going for that scrum and no defending 9. So they should have an overlap. It looks like the overs ball is on. Can they find it? It looks forward from here. Referee agrees. So giving that ball back to Loggerheads, overcomplicating it a little bit instead of simply moving through the hands.
Yeah, good read on that. Definitely forward. So a missed opportunity for the Retrievers to possibly punch this away. Loggerheads will pick it up here, but let's see what they do in this situation. We've seen them opt to kick most of the time. They're in tight on their own line right now. What would you do?
Well, I would bring in Reapi Aluni Sal, which they are doing as she walks onto the pitch. But look for the defensive pressure from the Retrievers. They have that woman overlap still. So see in the back line, there's only 2 players. There's a few substitutions, so tit for tat here going, oh, you're putting Aluni Sal in. Well, maybe I'll put in one of my better defenders here as Mata Hingano comes in. So going to be that scrum to the Loggerheads, and Aluni Sal is at the 9. So guessing she's going to have a crack herself.
2:47 on the clock. 12-0 Retrievers. Loggerheads will put it in. Referee will have some instruction. Didn't like the way that was set. Fixes the scrum, and here we go. Taking her time. Aluni Sal gets it in. Trying to move it forward. There's a tackle. Retrievers doing well defensively. A little bit of a wait. Now a hustle up the middle, gaining only a small amount of ground. The Loggerheads need some space here. And they need to get north. Ball comes out. Looking for the pass. This one will be almost turned over. Oh, and in danger of forward, but nope, it's okay. Loggerheads have it. They just can't seem to gain much ground, and the clock becoming a factor.
Retrievers with that woman overlap, so not a lot of space. She tries the cross kick pass. Jazz Gray does well, and it goes back from the Retrievers. So Jessalou tries to get over it. Ball remains with the Retrievers. Spots a little gap, cuts through, and the support is there. Can the Retrievers put the nail in the coffin?
This will be another try, and that will make it 17-0. And a effort by the Loggerheads to try desperately to get it up the pitch and move north. Fails. They tried with the kick, and the Retrievers managed to receive it. And just a great set of passing in tight for a beautiful try.
She had options on both sides. Elects for the outside, and then the inside opens up, and Mata Hingano scores her first try on the day. One of the most selfless players I've ever had the chance to play with. Incredible person on and off the pitch, but just the endless support inside, gets the pass from her teammate, has a finish.
It's a good job by Hingano.
Great try, great support all around, but this one's gonna be sealed with that try as there's just over 30 seconds left in this match.
What I like about that from the Retrievers is that everybody had a hand in that try. Everybody moved the ball very well there. They defended well against the Loggerheads and were rewarded for it, and that's been the story for them all night, really switching their luck around. There's the kick, comes up, everybody with contact and some carnage on the near side. Loggerheads with one last little effort here. A little something for it. It won't be a goose egg on the scoreboard, and a nice hustle and a touchdown by Aluni Sao to make the try.
And who else other than that woman, Rayapi Aluni Sao? She's just everywhere. She backs herself 100% of the time. And now you hear the hooter go in the background, so this will be our last play. But Loggerheads have something to be proud of there, finishing off with that try. Potentially another one, depending how this kickoff goes.
Keep it respectable for them. Nicely done. That's the side kick into the hands of the Loggerheads.
So it's a free kick awarded to the Retrievers. They'll most likely tap it, send this one into the stands as these two finish out this match. The last time we'll see the Retrievers and the Loggerheads in this season's competition.
Booted into the stands and into touch to bring this one to a conclusion, and a resounding 17-7 finish as the Retrievers win the final one of the day. And there's something to always be said for winning the last, no matter when the last is.
This is always a hard match to get up for. You're disappointed in your first round performance, not in the match that you wanted to be in. So well done to the Retrievers, head coach Kelly Griffin. But let's have a look here at the first try scored.
Well, this was Megan Foster at 3:36 to make it 5-0.
So it was just that drag across from Los Cicero. She took out two Loggerheads defenders. She pinned her own as well as Foster. Foster did well to read the space back inside. And when you play a 7-up style of defense, there's no one in the backfield. So once you break that line, you're normally scot-free. So well done to her as we see the celebrations there from the Retrievers, improving upon that semifinal performance earlier on. And then the sportsmanship always present here in the sport of rugby.
Well, after Foster, it would be Zanolato and Hingano to put it out to a 17-0 lead for the Retrievers. And then, of course, we saw that final score to make it 17-7. But a great effort by the Retrievers here in this one to come away with the win. All right, get the official gear at PR Sevens at shop.pr7s.com. These logos and these colors are so cool. You want a piece of it, make sure you go online and grab it. It's got another stop left in the East still, that coming up in Pittsburgh. And then, of course, the championship in DC in August, taking the nation's capital by storm. You gotta love that. I'm actually writing you in for president this next election, Abby.
I already submitted my own name.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I will be your VP if you want me to. You let me know. I'm not sure what I'm doing in the next couple of years, but I'll be there for you.
Down the line in list of applicants, but I'll have my staff.
You're saying there's a chance, though. Yeah, so we're not completely out of it. Love the costumes. Got a little Mario Kart going there. That brings the women's third place to a conclusion. And we switch gears a little bit now when we talk about the men. So it's the Northern Loonies getting set to take on the Golden State Retrievers. What do you like about this one?
All to play for yet again. I love a bronze medal match. I love to see who can make that switch from that loss earlier on, and how can you turn it on for these 14 minutes. Both of these games were so tight. Retrievers had the opportunity to tie it at the end, but unfortunately conversion was no good. So looking forward to this one.
All right, real quick, let's go down to Bree Kim standing by pitch side. Bree?
I'm with Kaylin Takatimu-Cook. Kaylin, you led from the front on defense and attack to get your team on the winning edge for this last game. Just tell me how it felt to finish out that way.
We definitely progressed from our first game. I think it was a team effort. All the girls, I'm really proud of them. I think we did pretty well considering we've only got about 3-4 days to get together. And to be honest, our culture has come very far. And unfortunately, I didn't make the first one. But the girls, like, coming in, I felt so welcomed. Just this whole tournament in general, really grateful to be here. Yeah.
Well, Kaylin, no, you're fine. Kaylin, you're such an asset to this team. Thank you for coming to PR Sevens. We hope to see you next year. Take care.
All right, Bree, thanks very much. What a great answer. That's a broadcaster's dream when you can ask one question and they'll just give you the whole answer, Abs.
I love that she spoke to the camaraderie of the team. That goes a long way in this sport as well. One of the many reasons I've stuck around for so long. But on to the men's side of the bracket, we have the Northern Loonies taking on the Golden State Retrievers.
And the Loonies first onto the pitch. Names on this one to keep an eye out for. Certainly Ryan Santos played a part in that first match. He was very physical. Very physical.
There he is on your screen, putting that scrum cap on. He brought the physicality, and then he brought that finishing power as well. Really on both sides of the ball, attack and defense. So look for him in the middle of the pitch. And you can't overlook people like Dan Norton, Marcus Tupuala, always in the mix as well.
I thought Jacob, or as they say, Jack Hidalgo, was also a standout earlier today.
I like how he plays. He's ever involved. He finds himself doing a lot of work in the middle of the pitch, and that is one of the most tiring places to be.
Golden State Retrievers take the field here, and they get a standing ovation from this hometown favored crowd. And certainly the names that we've pointed out for you here, can't ignore Tyanosa and what he brings both offensively and defensively. And then it's Paul Scanlon for me, number 10.
100% agree. We spoke about him earlier. Just a magician in the middle of the pitch. He always has his eyes up. He has the ability to back himself, but also he identifies that space so well and can create or exploit it, whether by himself or for his teammates.
Beautiful evening here in San Jose with you at PayPal Park. Mountains in the background. Left and right runway just across the way. And a beautiful setting and a little bit of a breeze kicking up right now. Temperatures dropped just a little bit, which is nice for these players. And the pitch that earlier was baked in sunlight now shrouded in a bit of shade, giving some relief during this near side. So maybe they favor the broadcast side of the pitch.
That would go better for our eyesight up here as well.
No
but it's
doubt.
Stunning temperatures here, perfect conditions for some Rugby Sevens.
And perfect to have you all along with us as the first kick off the boot of the Loonies will find its way into touch.
So it just bounces in, so it will be a line out to the Retrievers just outside their own 22. So a long way to go for them. Lots of options here, but again, Paul Scanlon, the Samoan there, he's going to be in that second receiver position.
Just waiting for it. There it was, a little bit of trickery, knocked down, and it's the Loonies who pick it up. So a failed attempt by the Retrievers, and the Loonies get a little bit lucky. There's the tackle on the far side. This will be picked up by Norton.
And penalty there for the Loonies, so opportunity first. Looks like they're going to slow things down, potentially go to a set piece. Scrum is going to be called. We've seen this tactic a lot. We've spoken about it. One thing to note is when you don't spend a lot of time together, this is something you can practice in the 2-3 trainings you have prior to a tournament. Hey, we have a right-hand scrum. This is the play we're going to run. And so they'll know exactly what they'll be wanting to do off this set piece.
These teams come together very quickly, have very little time to work together and build not only the bond but the tactics. So a lot of the credit goes to the experience of these players and their ability to ebb and flow with their teammates in a very fast manner.
100%. It's all about who can gel together the quickest.
There's the scrum. Loonies retain to the hands of Hidalgo. Taken down hard, but they are on offense.
Lovely turnover there by CO Junior as they look to play quickly.
Noble for the Retrievers. Off of the turnover. Ball will come out.
Penalty again, not rolling away, says the referee. So anytime you complete that tackle, you have to show effort to get out of the way and not attempt to slow that ruck down. Remember, Rugby Sevens is all about pace. How fast can we play?
I've seen a little bit more of a sluggish pace on the men's side this stop.
Does seem like the set pieces are the options that are the go-tos. It has its advantages, but again, it's that stop-start style, whereas you're really backing your 1v1 battles.
Peter CO Jr. picks it up out of that ruck to that far side, booted ahead, a channel. He'll get it back. They'll have to retreat a smidge, some room on this far right side, and now some movement. Good hustle by Masu. So we'll toss it back. Flip the cross to Talatala. East and west for the Retrievers right now as we're scoreless with 3:36 to go, and a huge hit in the backfield. Well done, Scanlon. To the far side, to the hands of CO Jr. He'll be knocked down. Trying desperately, the Retrievers looking to get some offense moving here, and finally will get a little bit of room. Talatala, far side to Noble. Noble wrapped up high and low. Teammates trying to give him a little bit of a push. Retrievers with a little room now on this far side, over to the hands of Scanlon. Scanlon with a beauty of a pass to CO Jr., and it'll break him free for the between the uprights try, and it's 5-0 Retrievers.
A classy setup and a classy finish there from the Retrievers. I loved the build-up. There was a lot of individual brilliance in there, a lot of footwork to create some space, hesitate the defense, and then Paul Scanlon right in the mix. He steps back on the inside of Dan Norton, splits the defense, gets his arms free, and then a spot-on support line from CO Jr. as he looks to convert his own try. And it is through the uprights, making this 7-0, but have a look again. CO Jr., he sends the pass initially. Scanlon steps off the right, engages the second defender, and then it's just a beautiful little floating offload in, and CO Jr. knows he's in.
A little love for California. And the Retrievers of Golden State have taken an early 7-0 lead with 1:50 to go here in the first. Received by the Loonies, who have some work to do now.
Great turnover there from Adam Channel. Just low body position. So Retrievers back with ball in hand.
Far side. Retrievers up the middle. looking to punch a little bit more in here before the end of the first 7 minutes. Scanlon so shifty and quick, gets wrapped up, taken down. Ball comes free, nicely done to the hands of CO Jr. again. Long back pass to Masseau, and Masseau breaks free with a juke, and he will find himself into the try zone right through the uprights. And at the 104 mark, it's 12 rip for the good boys. Who's a good dog? The Retrievers lead this one with just under a minute to go in the half.
They're leading that one. I'm going to leave your one on that comment,
Okay.
but
All right. Trying.
it was a stunning try as we see Peter CO Jr. attempting to convert his teammates' try right in front of the uprights, and he does so. So 14 points to nil, but we will have one more look at Masseau's try. CO Jr. sends it to Wendling, and then he just arcs and then steps off the right, shows the ball to the outside, and backs himself, diving, sending that ball to the sky. Joy on his face. Pearly Whites are out.
Good teeth, good teeth. 5 seconds left in this one. 14-0 Retrievers. Loonies with the nice reception and pass. Trying for a little something up the far side. They're going to get it. Look at this. What a run as the horn blows. It's Dan Norton. Hustle, hustle. And excuse me, that was 14 Peyton Wall, not Dan Norton. Numbers, math.
Glasses gone.
I had half of it right. Just didn't see the one.
A little bit of a late shot coming into the try zone. Looks like the referees are having a quick chat about that. But ball off the top from the restart. You don't see it too often, but a little shift and then a great line from Peyton Wall. He stays on the outside the entire time, backs himself, and gets the Loonies in this. So referees just coming up to Adam Channel. He was the one chasing the try scorer down. Looks like he is going to his pocket, so it will be a yellow card for Adam Channel going into halftime. So that's 2 minutes in the bin for the Retrievers. They looked so strong. They were really building. And now they're going to be down to 6 for the next 2 minutes.
And an interesting way to start that second half, because not only is it a little bit of a momentum shift here for the Loonies, but now an advantage coming into the final 7.
Just when we thought all the momentum was with the Retrievers, it takes 15 seconds and now fully swapped. So Loonies will go into this halftime with that burst, getting that pump, and then they know they have the advantage starting that second half.
All right, so for more on what we can expect in the second half, let's go down pitch side to Bree Kim. Bree, what do you got?
Well, first, I just want to summarize that first half. The Loonies really didn't have a lot of possession, so no opportunities to attack. But the Retrievers, the reason why they were able to be so successful is get that last try by Masseau is because they were so clinical in the attacking breakdowns. They had such quick support with their twos, which produced quick ball for the threes to be able to spin it out wide before the Loonies really had a chance to respond. So expect much of the same in that second half. The Loonies were trying to apply more pressure on defense, but for them, the question is really, how do we gain more possession and then attack from there?
Good stuff, Bree. And to that point, with an opportunity like this, you've got the advantage now. Now would be your time to sort of spread it out and see what you can't do in terms of creating more offensive space.
Retaining that possession just like they did off that last kickoff. They scored immediately, having runners on both sides, but not forcing anything. And I think whichever team can hold on to that ball, maintain it, build some pressure throughout these next 7 minutes. Just because the Retrievers have that yellow card, do not count them out. It's 2 minutes of hard work, and then hopefully back to that full complement.
All defense right now for the Retrievers. Try and stem it a bit here. You've got the lead. You're comfortable out there. But as we've seen, you're not safe.
Comfortable might be pushing it too, but they're definitely going to enjoy the lead. And because they missed that conversion, the Loonies. So it is a 2-score lead.
Here come the Loonies with a little bit of zip to start things off. Kicked ahead, now it's a foot race. Loonies can't get there. Retrievers catch a break. They have the ball, tackled down on the far side, thrown out to the hands of Scanlon. Scanlon goes far side. Retrievers tackled to the turf.
Not rolling away from the Loonies, so really smart game management here from the Retrievers. They have the advantage, they have the penalty, so just slowing it down. Tala Talapusi out there, he's played this game a lot. He knows how to work it into his favor, so you slowly come together, you slowly decide you want to scrum, and you waltz right on over. So
the gamesmanship.
a lot of time will tick away. As you can see, it's already been a full minute into the second half. So that's just less than a minute to go now for that yellow card, and it's Retrievers' ball.
Here comes the put in. Tala will get it back. Pauses, takes a look, tries to knock it ahead, and the kick doesn't work, fails, turned over. Looney's back the other way. Now a chance for them. Diafale to the hands of Norton. Tackled down, picked up. Now it's Tupuola. Tupuola down, will set it out. Norton will recover. Little stiff arm right there. He's got some help. McDonald was waiting. He gets out of the way. And now right across the line, who is it? We talked about him earlier. Ryan Santos finds the try zone and cuts it to 4 with 5 to go.
A lot of times we see that man barreling over someone. This time he just cruises in, dives in. You see him amping up his teammates saying, let's go. We're just down 2 points. All 7 players back on for Retrievers, so it is anyone's match. Plenty of time here, but having a look there again, Dan Norton creating in the middle of the pitch. And then Ryan Santos getting 5 to his name.
The difference is 2. Time continues to roll, 4:35, 14-12 the score. Beautiful evening here at PayPal Park. Pleasure to have you along on YouTube. Remember, just a reminder, the finals coming up just shortly, just after 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 Eastern time. We'll all be with you over on CBS Sports Network. There's the kick for the Loonies.
Big error there,
Yes.
seen straight away from Lockie McDonald. A little bit of a coach killer, especially as you're just getting the momentum, the swing back in your favor. You then give that ball up. It's almost better to nudge it a little longer than you want, and then just back your defense.
Like you said, the coach killer errors are the ones that matter in a 2-point match like this, and they're mistakes that you look back on and you're like, we probably could have done that better, and maybe the outcome changes.
Definitely, and those aerials, it's such a huge part of the game. You want to kick that high-hanging restart so your own teammate can run under it and regain possession. But when it doesn't go the 10, it's just gifting that ball to the opposition and giving them this midfield scrum opportunity, which is a great striking platform.
Anybody's match at this point. Who can throw it away? Who can win it? Out of the ruck to the hands of the Retrievers, and a little bit of space on that far side. Shane Barry tries to find the outside. Taken down, and the attack is stalled. Have to move it back a bit. Masseau tries to find some room up the middle, but hits a sea of white. Ball will come out of that tackle, but quickly knocked down, and this was into the feet, and what a turnover this is, and the Loonies with a bit of a break. The pass was bad, and it went off the shins. Loonies trying desperately to get something moving, and they have numbers. To the far side, the man open on the outside. What a beautiful grab, and it is Hidalgo who finds his way across and taps it down for the pressure. And the try is good with 2:35 to go in the second half.
Looks like referees are just having a quick consultation, making sure he's not in touch. Arm goes up, whistle goes off, and as you said, it is a try for Jax Hidalgo. We spoke of him earlier, more of his work rate and what he brings to this team, but this time he found himself on the edge. Beautiful ball, really simplistic play, just moving it through the hands, and he backs himself down touchline. Paul Scanlon just couldn't quite get there.
Could be a very important conversion here. That will be short and a smidge right. I want to go back to how this play started. Let's take a look.
Lockie McDonald sends it to Puala. He just takes one step forward, sends it on to his teammate. They don't try to do too much, but Hidalgo, he has the power, and he's in for 5. So pulling his side ahead, 17 points to 14. Yet another close match, but I can see up here, looking down, his teammates are yelling, hey, kick it deep. Make sure this goes 10 meters.
This one well knocked down. Great job there by the Loonies. That's what you're talking about, Abby. Far side. Big hit almost, but it's averted. Nice job by Lackie McDonald. Love the bleached hair. Back to the far side. Just a reminder, this is what's coming up next. We've got the women's final Loonies experts at 10:06 Eastern time, and then we'll have the experts and loggerheads at 10:31 for the men's final. Both of those matches on CBS Sports Network with myself, Abby, and Bree. Stick with us. Thank you for joining us here. Now it's to the far side. The Loonies looking to seal it. Oh, and they will. It's time and space, and not a problem for Dan Norton, who takes both knees and applies the downward pressure with the ball and extends it. It is a 22-14 difference with 35 on the clock.
Well, if any international rugby fans are watching, they'll have seen that try-scoring celebration many a times, as this man is the all-time leading try scorer for the HSBC World Sevens circuit, and he just cruises into the try zone. And that just about does it, I think, in this third place matchup.
Comfortable now?
I think I'll go ahead and use the word comfortable with 3 seconds left, 10-point lead.
There is the horn, and it is on the boot of Lackie McDonald again, and he will give this one a solid pump into the hands of the retrievers. Tayanosa makes the initial catch, moved across to Shane Barry. One last run, and why not? Peter C.O. Jr. off to the races. He won't catch it all the way down. He had a lot of space, but what a rundown that was. I love the wheels of the Loonies to catch up.
And Dan Norton is gifted a yellow card for his efforts. It was a high tackle, and referee going for a penalty try. And the crowd is displeased with this call. However, that is given because he deems Dan Norton was the only person that would stop him from scoring, and because it was high, they award the 7 points.
That'll do it. The final score will be 24-14. That is your final. The Loonies come away with one, and not a bad finish. We are so happy that you joined us. For Abby Gustitis, Brianna Kim, and our entire crew, I'm Nick Gismondi. This has been a presentation of Premier Rugby Sevens. Stay tuned for more PR Sevens as the women's and men's finals air on CBS Sports Network at 10.